right. Well, I'm joined here by Aleksa. How's it
Hello,
going, my
everyone.
friend?
I'm good. I'm good.
Awesome. So you recently won an event over in the Upside Down, if I got that correct.
Yes, in
Uh,
Brisbane in this case.
nice. And this was what, last week before, something like
Yeah, the last weekend. Yeah, we did 2 days. It was I think 36 players, 7 rounds.
that? Awesome. And a lot of people, I mean, honestly, a lot of people have been asking you sisters questions, and a lot of people have just been asking sister questions in general. So you took home #1 spot. I
Yep.
figured it'd be cool if we just kind of got your thoughts on how you played each map, what you were thinking about the team, and then kind of go over different parts of the team, how it works, and just your current thoughts. Subject to change,
Sure, sure.
obviously, as you play more.
Yeah. I think. Well, I played there's actually more practice games I play with a team than I usually do for no particular reason. It just worked out that way. So I played like 5 or 6 games before the tournament, maybe,
Hmm.
and then the 7 games at the tournament. So I've had some changes in my thoughts. We'll go through all of that over the course of that.
Okay, awesome. And before we get to that, how was the event? Just before we get to the individual games and how the teams worked, what was the event like? And I don't know, anyone local, what would you say to them stopping by a similar event? What would they prepare for?
Oh, it was a really good event. Ian is the guy running it. He's been running Queensland events for a couple of years now, actually. I think that's out of state for me. I traveled over there, but yeah, Ian's a great guy. Runs great events. Terrain looks gorgeous, nicely painted. Everything's set up well. People attacked the tomb well together, so nowhere fell apart. Just a great time in general.
Okay, awesome, man.
Venue's good as well.
All
So
right.
yeah,
Well, let's get into it. I'm pretty interested to hear your thoughts here. So I have game one pulled up, and so this
yeah.
was you versus Callium Duffy
Callum.
on HOTA,
Yeah,
or yeah.
yeah.
And so, which side of the map were you? This looks like it's, if I'm remembering correctly, ITD 4-ish or something like that.
Something like that. I think it's
Yeah,
5 maybe. So
yeah.
I won side selection and I picked blue
Okay.
entirely because that top room there,
Yeah,
this room here, you put a banner here and you just
yeah.
how that work? There we
Oh,
go.
you want to do Shift at P.
I
P
want
is
to do the
pin.
pencil.
Yeah,
There we go.
yeah,
There we go. This spot here, where
yeah.
I've done a little tiny white dot, you can just put a banner there and it's like almost impossible to contest and you just kind of win the game.
I see. Wow. Okay, so you just went in. You're like, all right, this is the map. Actually, it doesn't matter. I have a team that has plant banner, and I know banners go here.
Yes, basically, I won side selection. I looked at the map, and well, look, this map in general as well. Most of the time, if you can defend the top room, like if you have a team that's good at defending,
Yeah,
which sisters are really good at defending,
yeah,
you take that top room and you bunker up in there, and it's really easy for you to transition.
yeah.
Uh, and in the rest of my general plan, basically, I sent one cremator as a decoy to the bottom here.
Yep.
So turn one, she moved down there, opened that door. He had obviously a light barricade on his, objective here,
Mm-hmm.
but she threatens most of it. So he has to sit back like all the way here. And in turn two, he put like 3 people contesting that bottom room.
Yeah.
Turn two, she just walked back to
Yeah.
here, and I went, all right, I wasn't ever gonna fight you here, but you've put a barricade down and 3 people there. She's done her job. She's basically wasted all their time.
Yeah, and that's
Um,
trying to lure people out of position, right? Because Hand of the Archon has the same number of operatives, but if you
yep.
see someone place 3 across from 1 on a flank, you're like, do I need this flank, or have I already created this asymmetrical situation across the other side of the board? Yeah, that makes
Yeah,
a lot
and
of
then
sense.
on the other hand, if they only put one person here,
Yeah,
right, and your one sister, especially if you +1 APL her with the mortars or something, just runs up, flames that guy, and then wins that point next turn. So the idea when you're setting up stuff like this is you want to have a credible threat, but also like the moment they overcommit to stopping your credible threat, you just
yeah,
peace out.
yeah, right.
So if you'd only had like 2 elves even there, you could then someone dies on the other side of the map. You use the mortis to +1 APL her. You run in, flame 1, inspire. Next turn, if you get initiative or if there's something you have to do on the other side of the map, you kill both elves and now you've won that room. So the trick when you're setting up these kind of like little distraction threats is that if they ignore it, you have a plan for how you're going to use it to at least like potentially win the room.
Yeah,
And if they don't ignore it, then you just like if they commit enough to stop it, well, you go, okay, I'm not going to throw a model to certain death. I'm just going to walk away now. End of turn 2 and rotate to middle.
Yeah, and I actually want to. That makes a lot of sense. I think that's like some really good fundamentals. I think works with every team. To get
Yeah.
into the sister specific stuff, I'm interested in how you're thinking about the defense. You know, you're saying, hey, sisters are really good at defending this banner. I identified this point top right of the map, and so
Yeah.
who's your little squad to keep that room yours? You know, at the top of the map where you're going to plat the banner.
So my setup was the one random cremator down bottom.
Yeah.
I sent 2 warriors and the Mortis Sanctus into the middle.
Mm.
I put a barricade up like here somewhere, so I ran Mortis Sanctus here to loot the objective and then
Yeah.
stand there because of all your team, she actually has one of the best chances to just like tank a charge other than
Yeah.
the shield, but I wanted the shield on my home.
Yep.
And also with the strike on death, she can also kill back, and then she inspires, and then this warrior that's sitting here will get the +1, so on. So it was Mortis Sanctus and 2 warriors here, and then the rest of like the other 5 models were just up in this room. So it was at this point I hadn't yet decided to stop bringing the sensor bearer. So it was
Yeah.
sensor, leader, relic, shield, and a warrior.
So it's kind of like 1, 3, and then that leaves you with 5. Okay.
Yeah, that's how I set it up. Yeah.
Okay.
And then throughout the course of the game, some of the ones from middle rotated up because this had rotated up, so it basically became 6 and yeah.
Yeah, this goes up here, this goes up here. Yeah, something like that. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. And so, I mean, your whole team is in this room then.
Yeah, so basically I put the banner on I put a barricade here, I put my banner here on turn 1, like the relic, sorry, the relic warriors. Put it here, inspired back. Then I turn 2, ran my shield and my leader up here. I had a warrior here to defend this door, basically. And then I had like 2 models on this. He ended up poisoning 2 chicks with the Disciple Elindra grenade, and I was like, okay, that's fine. I probably won't die. I ended up having to. One of them took 6 damage, so I had to use the heal on death to heal that girl back up.
Yeah.
To not die to the poison. But I was like, I mean, if he throws a poison grenade to them, I kind of didn't care. I was like, this doesn't kill them. They're still good. And then, they're just sitting on the objectives. Ended up using the Get Down Mr. President against the 3-5 pistol the Disciple has. So I protected my leader from that with the shield. And then just sort of slowly like up traded basically between my leader getting a couple of kills, charging across the room here.
Yeah.
Basically just abusing the fact that I kill them in melee and they don't kill me in shooting. I don't know what And then also like I kind of just locked the game down because I was getting 6 on my attack basically no matter what, unless I completely lost the game, at which point it didn't matter what I brought. And then I got on turn 2, I ran the Mortis Sanctus onto the objective like here.
Yeah.
I picked it up, ran back, then ran forward again, and just looted like that twice.
Oh, wow. Oh, man. Okay.
So I ran forward, looted, ran back, ran forward, which was pretty good for me.
Yeah, absolutely. Would you say there's anything... So obviously you had a pretty good plan here. You know the map. You know where you're putting your mission. You're probably going tac hop, I assume, for primary. You know where the gals are going. Anything that played out dynamically in this game that you think a Sisters player might not immediately know if they're just picking up the team and they're in, their first 10 games?
Well, I think the shield, like the Mr. President in the shooting attack when your leader is big. I think I inspired my shield. That was fine. I mean, I think using the cremator, like a lot of people don't think the cremator is that great. But, like things like this, where this light barricade has to be like so far back to not get seek lighted. That also means that you're safe from them charging you, right? Like if they could put the barricade here, they would be, because you're going through the door, you can't charge them, but they can charge you, or they can move and shoot you. But because the seek light extends your threat to basically be 9 inches, including you move 5 through the door, you have 4-inch seek light. Suddenly, if they want to not get shot first, they have to put the barricade here, or they have to accept that you're going to shoot them, and then that's fine for you because you're sitting on the door and you have control over what happens there.
No, that makes sense. I think that's why it's been, for me at least, it's been really hard to drop. The 3 warrior play works a lot of the time, but into the dark maps or the Tomb World maps,
Yep.
A lot of the time, either the middle or the home objective, it's hard to find heavy on it, or you're not going to be able to. That Seek Light and
Yeah.
Lethal 5 is just so good.
Yeah, exactly. And getting an Inspire without killing can be like really big as well. If you do like in some situations, depending on the map and the mission, you do two, like you do a warrior and the cremator.
Yeah.
So the cremator walks up, shoots someone. Excuse me. Even if they don't kill them, she inspires. Then if they kill the cremator, you pop the inspire onto the warrior back there. Like it's really nice being able to do that without having to charge. Like that's the main thing, is like you don't have to charge. You can just walk up, shoot, and get the inspire proc. Even if you can't toss it back, like if you move dash really far, like even if you can't toss it back, you put it on yourself, and then when you die, you put the martyrdom effect onto your warrior there.
It's almost like having the strike on death thing. It's like, all right, well, I inspire before I die, so I'll just pass it.
Yeah. If they're shooting and they're not charging to fight you, right? It's actually really nice being able to inspire for free like that.
Yeah. Okay. So I think in general, you win this map by asymmetric deployment, setting up a good tack op, and then being able to rotate points in your favor. And also, it's very hard for them to shoot or fight you, right? But how might you have lost this in this matchup? How do you think Handle Arcan can be a little scary, if at all, versus the team?
So, like, one thing he didn't quite do enough of is abusing terrain asymmetry, because they're on 25s. So if you ever play against sisters, just body block them with like terrain. Just bring barbed wire barricades, and it is utter misery to play sisters into it. So like if he'd put like some sort of like barbed wire here, and then like a barricade here, and there's 25 mil gaps that he can go through here, and I can't do anything to threaten him. He can put a lot of people here and be really scary. And then the second thing is like probably needed to like more quickly rotate from the bottom to the middle.
Yeah.
The way he rotated was a little bit slow. And then the one thing you have to decide, this is more map specific than matchup specific, but on this map, you kind of have to decide, like, if someone has banner and they have this top room, are you going to play to try and break into that room? Are you going to play the middle and bottom? Like, it's really hard. He had retrieval, which is really, I mean, I don't think he has a really great tack op choice here, because it's like either flank or retrieval, neither of which he's going to score more than 4 on realistically. Unless, like,
You're
could go
for 5 on retrieval. It's pretty hard though.
On this map, it's very hard. Like, the one thing he can do is, like, the one thing you can try and do, because sisters don't really have blast as well, is you can kind of just put 5 people on this top door and just like try to full send it, and it can work. But it's very like flippy, the game. But if you're automatically losing anyway, you may as well flip the game. Like, if the math says you lose by 3 to 5 points if you play safe, flip the game. Right? There's no, right? You have to sometimes just accept that things are bad, and you have to take the least bad option.
Yep. And who would you say was the MVP for operative for your side of this match in this game?
It's probably the shield, just for tanking that splinter pistol shot and living on like 1, and then just scoring the banner.
Yeah.
It was a very like, just a very, because of the setup in the map, it was a very like kind of set game after turn 2, where I just sort of slowly cleaned up here.
Yeah.
Mortar Sanctus like killed a guy on death in the middle. She looted I mean, scoring wise, it was the Mortar Sanctus, because she looted this twice and then striked on death and killed a guy. She definitely did the most on her own in terms of individual model.
Yeah. Yeah, but the Abjurer is helping you execute the plan and keeping your leader alive.
Yeah, the Abjurer is holding this door down, because the Abjurer tanks that shot. My leader lives, then my leader kills. I think my leader killed 1 and did like 8 damage to his leader. Then his leader shot my leader, ran away, and then I chased him down with the Abjurer and killed him.
Okay, cool. Anything else on this one before we scuttle along?
Loot does some weird stuff. That's about it, yeah. I didn't bring the Denuncier here, and this was one game where I didn't bring her, and I wish I had her, I will say. I wish I had her instead of the Sensor, because the Sensor kind of did nothing. And I was kind of like really wishing I had 3 APL on this door or on this door. So if you're playing these kinds of ITD defense room maps, this is actually like where you can just sit on these doors. This is where actually I think you really want the Denuncier. Some games I brought her, some games I didn't, just because I was messing around. And this is one where I was like, if I had her instead of Sensor, this would be much more useful.
No, that makes sense. And this is my current thinking on Denuncia is if you're being the defender, aka you're trying to like plant and keep, you probably want her. I think maybe you
Yep.
drop her if you're just full sending and you need damage now. And now is the middle of turn 2.
Yeah, if you're full sending or you're playing against like Space Marines who might full send onto you and you're like, I don't have enough time to denunciate stuff.
Yeah.
I kind of just need to have more damage. But yeah, this was one game where I was like, wish I had her.
Yeah, okay. And so you said this game feels pretty wrapped by turn 2. You're probably, mid turn 3? You're like, okay, this is kind of done. I'm feeling good. Like, was this one out of the way? Wasn't really down to the wire and you're like already thinking about the next game? Or where was your mental, like, end of this game into the next one?
You kind of have to be careful against Hand of the Archon because they can just explode you.
Yeah.
So I was kind of like, I have these 9 points guaranteed. Let's just make sure I don't lose, basically. Like, it was kind of like, yeah, like, it wasn't like super easy. Like, I did have to work for it because Hand of the Archon are fast and they do a lot of damage. But yeah, mentally I was like, I have my room locked down. And then I was like reflecting on it, like, man, if I had the Denunciate instead of the stupid Sensor, I could actually do something. Like that, to be frank, like, because I had locked the room, he wasn't really gonna, come in and kill me to trigger my martyrdom. So I was never getting through APL. So that's why I was like reflecting on it. I was like, man, I wish I could do something proactive. Because like, if I had the 3 APL, I could like open this door and contest here into the room where he's set up on his barricade.
Yeah.
Or I could, move, shoot, dash away on the top, stuff like this. But
alas.
Yeah, like once I had the double loot on turn 2 and the banner down, it was like I'm gonna score 10 points, 11 points guaranteed. And then 2 more loots, that's 13 points. And it's like if he only scores 4, 6, and then 6 more, even if he maxes like his, crit and tack.
Yeah.
Well, he can't max his stack, so he gets 10 with, even if he gets all of the rest of the loots, the most he can get is like 9 points. And so at that point, if we just tie on kill up, I win.
Yeah.
And if I do nothing, and that's assuming everything else goes perfect for him, which, I can still loot the middle objective off of him. And if he's throwing up to loot, then I can kill him. So I should be winning on Thingo. So.
All right. And so you wrap up that game, and is this lunch for you? Do you have like an hour-long break, or are you just immediately into game 2 over here?
Well, actually, we finished this game in an hour, so I have a 2-hour break because this is lunch after. We smashed that. We both played pretty. Like, it's not like I just killed everything. It's just it was like fairly simple.
What
like,
do you do? Nothing. Like, what do you do? Also nothing, I guess.
Yeah, yeah. Like we got to turn 4, and he like retrieved the middle objective, and I had 4 sisters left alive, and I'm like, I'll pass. Cool, I'm done. Like,
yeah, fair. Okay. Well, then in the game 2 here, so this is Orb. This is Wrecka crew, Max Sildy, I think. And which side do you get here for sisters?
I get blue. I think he chose red from memory.
Okay. And what do you think about this kind of map, mission deployment, etc.? When you know you start playing here, what are you thinking?
I'm thinking, God, I hate deploying on this map in general. Deploying on this map sucks. I'm like checking lines, like if he can do something like this. You can't actually see over there, but I have to check it because otherwise it's like maybe a disaster.
Yeah.
But my general plan ends up being I haven't activated him, so I'm gonna sit on this door here, and I'm gonna play for the middle. I put a heavy barricade up here because you kind of need it so you can actually swing between the 2 points.
Yeah. Get to here is kind of hard.
Yeah. But it's very hard to defend your home objective on blue side here, especially with all the blast he has. You can't just put like 4 models on the bottom little ruin, so you need to be able to spread out a little bit more. He does actually terrain block me. He actually puts up a little barricade here, so his squigs can go through here.
Oh, interesting.
And so he actually does do that. So I'm like, I put like maybe 3 sisters in a stronghold, like 3 sisters here, 3 sisters behind the ruin.
Yeah. On
the bottom right here. All of these sisters, I'm just deploying here, but the plan is to just go up here. So the sister on the corner here dashes, climbs up, gets to cover up there. I end up, I think, with 3 crossbows up on this vantage here.
Sure.
Like this, basically. Like all 3 of my warriors are up here. I have Denuncia down here with my flag here, and then my leader here, like this. And then like the shield and the mortar sanctus are behind the door on the bottom floor. And I think I move one of these sisters across to like here, and she ends up like rotating up like this.
Okay, interesting.
I don't know. I think I had the 4 crossbows this one. Yeah. I think I dropped the sensor. I did. I dropped the sensor because I was like, it doesn't matter. He has Wrecka points.
Yeah.
This thing doesn't do anything.
Yeah.
And 5/5 doesn't actually help me kill them because they're 12 wounds.
Yeah.
So it's like, there's no point bringing that. So I just brought a warrior instead. Oh no, I had a cremator and 3 warriors. That's right, because I had a cremator on the left side.
Okay.
Because I only have 3 crossbows built. I have not built 4th and 5th crossbow yet.
I see. Okay.
And after this game, I was like, man, it wasn't this game. It was one of the later games. I was like, man, I just wish I had more crossbows. But this was the cremator was good here. The cremator was good here actually.
And what do you think about? Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
Yeah, you go.
I was gonna say. And what do you think about Orb versus Wreckas?
It ended up not like it was. The thing is, like, he's 8 and I'm 9, so like if I'm spending the last activation to punch the orb, it's not great. And he put one of his guys just sitting on the subjective engage, so if I do it earlier, he would counteract and push the orb back.
I see.
So it wasn't super, like, it was pretty even. I think we were like even on orb until the last turn. We both got 1 on turn 2 and 1 on turn 3, and then I got 2 points on turn 4.
Okay.
So I mean, it's a very low scoring game, as you can see from both of us.
Yeah,
like 12 to 9 is very low scoring.
Incredibly.
I didn't have a good banner spot on this map, which was the problem for me, because no other tack op is really good into them.
Yeah.
So because I didn't have a good banner spot, I was like, well, I'll just pick a good enough banner spot to like score 2 points. So what I ended up doing was turn 2. I did not see a +1 APL'd up here. And then this chick ran down here and then planted there.
Okay, fair.
And that was like good enough, and I scored 4 on it because I died on it turn 2. He managed to kill that chick, and then on turn 3 I gave it up, and then turn 4 I did once again another Denuncia +1 up here to drop down here, push the orb to his objective, and then control this from it. Because there was a 2 wound orc here.
And I think a lot of times that makes a ton of sense. And I think the 3 scary threats that the Wrecka's team has for you, feel free to add another, is the 2 squigs and then also the rocket melee. And so I'm thinking, like, in this game, how does that play out for you? And how are you thinking about handling those threats? Obviously, the squigs on the left have this like asymmetrical path through. I don't know. How's it play out this time around?
So I don't think the squigs are actually that scary for sisters, because like they hit on 4s and you have a 3-up save, so like they almost never kill you. It's very like low odds you actually die to that, especially if you roll relics. So I'm actually just worried about all of their melee. Like I'm worried about all the 5/6 melee, because even with damage reduction they still kill you in 2 hits. So like it's really scary, like because he brought the Crusher, and also the Crusher, like there's the guy who ignores lethal 5 severe.
Yeah.
So you're like, I can't ever kill this guy. Like those are he's the actual scary one. The hammer, like he does a lot of damage, but like if he runs up, as long as he doesn't get more than 1, I'm perfectly happy if he detonates on a sister and they both take 9 damage, and then he's right. Like I'm actually okay with that. That's fine. He can do that. Like I'm not actually concerned about that. It's mostly just making sure the squigs don't get a blast, which is just a question of like this kind of extra terrain separation helps a lot here. Actually, what I ended up doing in one of the turns is I put my sister here to body block the squig, because I had my superior here on the bottom of this ruin, and then the other sister ran forward because the squig is behind the door, and physically body blocked the squig, so I didn't have enough movement to blast them both. Which I thought was really clever. So it's just like making sure you don't get blasted, and then also just shoot them a lot. Like you can't really charge and fight them. Like they're a team you just lose to if you charge and fight. They have too much HP and they have just a scratch, and they do so much damage. So if you charge and fight, you're just gonna get flipped on. Like if you roll, crit in 2 hits, which is like pretty normal, and they get like, they'll have 4 hits because they have Wrecka points, right? They have Wrecka points. You shock 1 away, they parry 1, you hit them for like 9 damage, and then they've got 3 hits left. They've got 2 hits left, right? They're gonna hit you for like 8 to 10. If it's a 5/6 guy, you just die probably. Right? if you don't die, he just fights you after and does actually just kill you. Like you have 2 health left. Like
Yeah.
let's be real here. And if if you rolled a crit on the previous fight and he hit you for 5 and you don't just that, like you're just dead.
Yeah.
So it's really just like you kind of have to give them a little bit of bait to force them out, and then just shoot them with crossbows 3 times, and then when they're on like 4 wounds, then you charge them. So like for example, like I ran that chick down. She planted the banner. That orc shot her, charged her. She actually she tanked a crack grenade charge fight, which was pretty sicko.
That's crazy.
She got both relic procs. So you got because it was like his first shooting attack of the game, because I didn't give him any shooting on turn. So he only had 1 Wrecka point, I think, because he had a fight action. So he gets like a 3-hit crack grenade. She saves 2. I think she saves 1. Jasses the crit, goes down to 5. And then she's inspired, so she gets hit with the crit, jasses the crit, gets hit by a normal, lives, and then ends up using the inspiring to ignore the ploy to ignore the movement penalty to fall back into the ruin.
Oh my gosh!
Off of here.
Oh my gosh!
And then the 3 sisters up top just go ba 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 and just start unloading on this orc standing in the open.
That's really awesome. I think
so. I was like, that's pretty good.
Yeah, one thing I want to and I think sister players, there's some really great things you're saying right now that people should be thinking about as they're picking. One, you're versus a team that out melees you, right? One of the first things you do here, you're like, okay, well, I'm dropping the sensor, and it's probably always the first versus a team that's going to win versus you in melee. Most of the time, probably you might be dropping that operative, and then you're also probably replacing her with a warrior here because you want that silent shooting. And then also the way you're playing this, you're stalling this opponent out, right? You want them committing these charges into the center, hopefully not confirming kills like you just talked about, and then plinking away with your shooting, right? Yeah.
Yeah, so on the left flank, he committed a squig and an orc.
Mm-hmm.
I actually managed to get a cheeky shot on the squig from the vantage. So I took the squig out.
Yeah.
He's engaged, bro. I can see him.
Yeah.
And then I was like, I just put the relic on the point and went, I mean, you can charge and kill the relic. That's fine. And then I'll kill that guy afterwards.
Yeah.
Like, that was my, because he'd put, the orc and the squig there. And alternatively, if he just charged the squig and detonated, he probably doesn't kill me again. Mm-hmm. And then he still has to charge with the orc. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, okay, that's fine. Yeah. I don't care.
Yeah.
Charge with the orc, kill the relic. I will use that to give my leader ceaseless. And then she's going to plink away with your crossbow. I'm going to bring someone over, slowly kill you, and then that's good for me because now I've won that flank, basically. The thing is, I think you can bring the sensor in some melee matchups, but it has to be like a melee team that doesn't also have a really good shooting attack, or it has to be ITD. It has to be a very specific setup, because the against melee team like Felgor, doing the sensor plus shield setup is really good. Yeah. Because what are they gonna do? Yeah. But against Wreckers. Against Wreckers, he's going to walk up and go, okay, I blast 2, and you both explode. Yeah. And he's like, I'm getting 1 million Wrecker points. I'm hitting on 5s anyway. I don't care. He's just there to, you're just giving him, it's very specific to this matchup that you don't bring the sensor. It's and then also, it just depends on the mission and stuff like that. But yeah, I mean, she is the one I drop first, usually. Yeah, I didn't bring her here. And also, again, because against Wreckers, you want the shooting threat. Because they shoot a lot. You have silent shooting, which is good answer to that. And you need to chip them before you fight them in some way. So yeah, that was good. And then, anything else interesting? What else happened? Oh, I charged and didn't fight with my shield against an orc on the flank. Because I was like, well, I don't want you to die. I just want you to stay here for a long time. Because he had put his banner here, because that's where he had to put it. And so I charged and I don't fight. And then he's like, well, I'll fight you. And I rolled 0 hits on the shield and she just died. And I was like, oh, that's sad. Okay. I was like, she'll live 2 fights here and waste a lot of his time. Nope. Didn't do that. But that happens sometimes.
Yeah.
But yeah, but the plan was generally something with the shield against teams that are tanky and do a lot of melee damage, unless you absolutely have to kill someone, just charge and don't fight them. Because all you're really doing by charging and fighting is you're not going to kill a Space Marine or an Orc unless you get really lucky.
Yeah.
And all you're doing is making it so that next when they activate, they're just going to kill you in 1 hit. And then your whole double parry and all your tankiness and all that, it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah, that's
so
actually
just
I want to down that idea. So you're versus a team that out melees you. I want to talk about how a lot of times Mortis Sanctus maybe comes back. And then the second one is, what is the roles of your remaining melee operatives? So obviously your melee operatives are going to be the shield lady. And you're saying, hey, she charges, she's a problem. For you, she's denying tac op in this game. If she can just charge and deny tac op, she's doing 100% everything she's supposed to do. What about the Mortis Sanctus? Is she trying to do something similar now that you're versus a team that you know is going to be like kind of bodying you in melee? Or what are you trying to do with her in this matchup?
For her, she didn't have a clear role. She was just kind of there to finish people off, basically.
Yeah.
And also like to keep bloody blocking this door. Because she has fight first pre-parry, which if she's defending the stronghold, she has fight first pre-parry, which is really, really strong. Arguably like even sometimes better than the shield lady. Yeah. And then her role was to just like challenge someone to a fight and then finish them off, basically.
Yeah.
Like she's good at finishing off orcs that have taken a little bit of damage, basically. Yeah. That's she's not as good at doing this charge don't fight thing. She's okay at it. And the challenge is really good because like whoever she challenges, suddenly she does actually just beat in the fight most of the time. Or if they decline, they become bad. Like that's good. But yeah, her role was really just to like clean up an orc that had taken like 6 damage and go, okay, I'll charge and hit you with the power sword now.
Yeah, that makes sense. And then how are you dealing with? It sounds like maybe your relic lived to activate on turn 3. Is that correct?
No, the relic died.
Okay,
the relic died on turn 2.
Okay,
the relic on the objective on the left.
Yeah.
Like I shot that guy. I think he then won initiative and just charged and punched the relic in the face, and I went, okay, that's fine.
Yeah.
And then I just slowly plinked that guy to death.
Okay, cool. I think that makes sense. I like the use of the crossbows on the center there. That makes it pretty rough with Orb because you're just lasering the mid objective. You're like, all right, you activate last. Let's do that.
Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And so now you've gone through lunch. You had your nice 2 hour. Was this game also done pretty quick, or are you?
No, this game was a bit longer because we got to turn 3 and turn 4, and I had to start because it was very close on points.
Yeah.
So we got to turn 4, and I think I spent like 10-15 minutes calculating every different set of actions.
Yeah.
That could happen. So, because what ended up happening was he kills the shield, he gets his banner there, he's got an orc there and a knob there.
Yeah.
And then I'm basically just trying to figure out how I can guarantee the win. And so I'm like, I end up charging someone else onto this objective into the knob to contest it. His knob, I think, was low on HP at this point because I'd shot him a bunch, so he didn't want to fight me. It was Mortis Sanctus that charged him. That's right. The Mortis Sanctus charged the knob. The knob had not much HP, so he didn't want to fight. So he falls back because he wants to fall back and then counteract shoot. So I'm standing on his banner there. And then I'm like calculating, like, so if he kills my Mortis Sanctus and then he has this other guy here who can counteract to the window to control the banner.
Yeah.
If he does that, what do I need to do to win? And then I'm calculating like, okay, but if I push the orb, he's going to counteract push the orb. Do I still win then if he doesn't kill me?
Right.
So I spent like 15 minutes doing like 5-6 different orders of operations because he has 2 counteracts at this point. I had like 6 sisters to 3 orcs, which is actually really bad because he just gets to counteract with everyone. And I don't get to like kill these guys. But yeah, this was a slower game. You have to be so careful against Wrecka Crew and Open because like you slightly mess up, you get cross mapped by a blast 2, or you get a squig into your back line. You just have to be like really, really precise with where you put your models, basically. So it was a much slower game.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, so that means you don't have a ton of time. 1 second, let me swap some colors here. Let me get the background going. Back to this. Okay. All right, so you're now game 3. You don't have a 2-hour break now. Maybe something more like 15 minutes.
Something like that, 20 minutes maybe. Yeah.
Okay, and so you show up to Tomb World. I believe this is Tomb World 5, if my memory serves. And it's into Murder Wing. All right, who gets sides and data? Yeah.
So I get sides, and I pick blue.
Okay. So we go up here.
Main reason being is that trying to cross this whole room just kind of sucks.
Yeah.
Especially if the Murder Wing player barbed wires this. and then puts a barricade for himself here, and you're like, well, am I gonna shoot a 3/3 flamer at a Space Marine behind this light cover and stand in the open when he's probably put his plasma gunner here and he's gonna blow you away? No, I'm not gonna do that. That seems bad. And also, it's much easier, like, as sisters, trying to play red side and rotating from home like this is really hard. You basically have to bring the Inferno Pistol and use the Inferno Pistol to just open walls, and that doesn't seem very good to me. It seems really bad, actually. So yeah, I picked blue side, which is okay for me. The main downside on blue side, well, on this map in general, is there really isn't anywhere good to plant a banner. But also, there isn't any other good tac op, so it has to be plant banner. And I actually, I messed up with my plant banner. I probably could have won this game, but I ended up, not planting my banner when I should have. We'll go through that later, but we do this. I do the pretty standard. I put the relic on this objective here. I have one sister, sitting like this on this cover, like that, because, he has this Chaos Lord going into this room. But no one's who's gonna shoot her, so she can just sit on this flat cover like that. So she can support this objective more easily. And then I send, I think, 2 sisters down this way, and then the rest of my team is kind of spread out along here. My Denuncia's up here. What I actually end up doing, if I remember correctly, is I deploy the Denuncia here somewhere so the banner can see her. Banner inspires the Denuncia, then she walks back here to be within 6 of this sister. Maybe she was here then. I can't remember. Something like that. It was this. She was in 6 here so that I could charge around this corner. Because what ends up happening is he ends up putting a barricade here, and he goes for an aggressive retrieve. So he has his champion here. He challenges the flag, charges the banner, kills the banner, retrieves for himself. And then off of that, what I end up doing to clean it up is I shoot him a bunch. I then 3 APL this sister with the Denuncia so that I can charge, finish him off because he only has 4 health left because I've shot him with all my crossbows, right? And then I can do the data action here with her. And then she's sitting here on 3 APL on full HP, inspired, full crazy sicko mode, basically. And so in this case, I inspired the Denuncia turn 1, but I didn't use her ability on turn 1. I saved it for turn 2. Because the other stuff I was doing was I had a Cremator in the middle there. And the idea was if he goes to this barricade without using Narcissism, I can Seek Light him. Which meant he had to spend a CP on turn 1 to be able to set up this play he wanted. So that was good for me. Just being able to, you being flexible with your Denuncia, you don't you can inspire her or inspire someone on turn 1 and then just not use Speak of Her Deeds if you don't need it. Which is what ended up happening here. And it ended up working out because of that I had a good spot there. And that 3 APL sister actually was alive till the end of the game and ended up securing the draw because she was 3 APL from turn 1.
That's pretty funny. Okay, so rewinding back just a little bit. So operative selection. You're into, you're into Murder Wing, you get sides, you have this idea of all right, planting banner is gonna suck here. Which operatives are you gonna bring? You obviously need a Cremator to keep people off light light cover mid to just stop from wrecking your backlines. Do you bring 1 Cremator? Do you contemplate 2?
I'm trying to remember actually if I brought this. Might have been a 2 Cremator game. I think I did go 2 Cremator because I was I don't need the silent. I need to be able to inspire by shooting him because the damage reduction does matter. But I don't, because I don't want to charge fight straight up because then he'll just either kill me or he'll long forgotten honor out of it. And in fact, actually, I end up later on forgetting about long forgotten honor and scoring myself that way. But when I was thinking of my operatives, I was thinking about it. So I was I don't want to charge fight because that's gonna be bad. So I want to shoot, but also I need to be inspired, so I need Cremators. So I think on the right here, I had 1 Cremator, and then here in the center, I had 1 Cremator.
Got it. And so there's 2 things going on here, and I think one makes some sense. Hey, you can move, shoot, and you can remove light cover, lethal 5. Cool. That's amazing. You're going to plink some damage. 2 specific to sisters, and I think a lot of people should be thinking about this, not just First Murder Wing, which is you're going to get inspired from the Cremator, and you're going to be able to start passing around either inspiration, so you're harder to kill back, or benedictions when you die. And so that's an incredible way to turn on stuff, because a lot of people are like, I just want to be charging. I just want to be charging. And these the cremators, when you have these matchups where you know you're going to be shooting a little bit and you want to keep people off these mid objectives, well, it also just shooting them works perfectly fine.
Yeah, especially if they don't have a lot of long range shooting. Like, if the silent isn't giving you any value, it's like, okay. The cremator, I looked at all of the different math permutations. Uninspired, the cremator crushes average damage against everything, even 3-ups. And then, like, if you have inspired and balanced against, like, 3-ups, the crossbows are slightly better.
Yeah.
And then against everything else, the cremator is still better on average.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, if I'm not using the long range and the silent, I'm doing like the same or more damage, but I also get to inspire for free. And I also don't have the precondition of needing to be inspired to do the higher average damage.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, that makes a ton of sense. Okay. And then I also want to, so, 1 to 2 cremators here. You definitely think about it. And then, are you taking every single specialist?
No, I dropped the sensor bearer. I was like, there's no point.
Yeah.
Because like, if you try to set up the shield play, you're just gonna get depredated.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get depredated, and you're gonna be like, well, that sucked. So it's like I can't put my models within 2 of each other, like unless it's fully body blocking, and it's so hard. And then you just have to like, and then if she's out front and the predator charges her and he just spins, she dies. Like, well, whatever. I could have had a crossbow or a flamer to at least have some threat. So yeah, I dropped the sensor bearer, and I did not regret it. I wasn't like, man, I wish this warrior was a sensor bearer right now at any point.
Yeah. And then another one, I have a question for you, which is, what does the leader end up taking for weapon choice here?
Okay, I typed some stuff about, yeah, the Inferno Pistol's pretty good, guys. Hey, no, listen, it's always the crossbow. Just 3-inch range sucks, man. 3-inch range is so terrible.
Yeah,
that's really what it comes down to.
I wish it wasn't so, but you're making a lot of sense in a way that I hate to hear.
If it said like 6-inch range, then I could be like, yeah, I would probably bring it in this matchup, but it doesn't, so I can't. Like, you have to move so far, and you don't want to move forward, and you also ideally want to be like inspiring some gals. So you want to like move, inspire, shoot. It's like, that's so unrealistic with the flame pistol, or the Inferno pistol.
Yeah, and I think having just a little discussion about that makes sense. So there are generally three things your leader wants to do: move, inspire, shoot. Maybe she wants to shoot, charge, fight, or fight, charge, shoot. Whatever, it can happen.
Yep.
And then another thing, sometimes she wants to move, dash, and then do some mission thing. And then if you're ever move, dash, shooting, womp womp.
Yes. Also, importantly, one of the best things to do against the Space Marine, when you have like a 3 APL model who's not quite a Space Marine, is to shoot, charge, fight them.
Yeah.
And that's really hard when you have 3-inch range.
Yeah.
Like, the ability to shoot from 8 inches away, or 9 inches away even, with the plus 1-inch move. Or 10, actually, because you can charge 9, be within 1. Like, that's like really useful. And if that suddenly becomes, there's a Space Marine over there and I can only charge and fight him, that's like so much worse than doing, 6 to 8 damage to him before you charge and fight. Like, the crossbow, I think, averages out like 8 damage, especially if you use rerolls on it.
Yeah.
Or if you're already inspired. Like, so like,
goes hard.
if there's a 14 wound Space Marine, and you do 6 damage to them, they're now on 8 wounds, which, funnily enough, is really good is for 4/4, right? Like, now you kill them in 2 hits, as opposed to Inferno Pistol, in which case you have to charge and fight up, even a 12 wound Space Marine. And then dream of killing him and shooting another guy? It's like, okay, this isn't real. This isn't, like, this is so, not going to happen. And when it does happen, it's sick. Like, my first game with this team, I did manage to pull off a charge, fight, shoot into 2 Space Marines and kill both of them.
Yeah.
And I was like, yeah, this is going to happen so many. And then, like, every game afterwards, I was like, no, that doesn't work. No, I wish I had a crossbow.
Yeah. Okay. I think that makes a lot of sense. Okay, so okay, now let's hear the story of your banner. Your woes about your banner.
So turn 2, we're setting up stuff.
Yeah.
And he, his Warp Talon is on the right here, and he pops out and guards this door. I've got these 2 sisters, and there's 2 Marines on this side and 2 sisters. And I'm kind of like stuck. One of them's already activated, the other one hasn't.
Yeah.
So the one on the left is activated because initially I ran in here to put pressure on this objective.
Yeah.
And then I ran away and closed the door. And I was like, I can either start rotating over to the middle, or I can try and kill this guy and do some crazy stuff. So my shield is sitting like here somewhere on the middle door, and my plan is to have her walk out here and plant the banner here. And he has his, I think, the Predator here on Malicious Narcissism at this point, and I don't think he can quite reach me here.
Yeah.
And then I like get this thought in my head. I'm like, but if I run the shield over and he fights me on his guard, I can make him fight the shield and beat him up. That's so good. I'm gonna do that. So I run the shield over, and I'm like, aha! I'm gonna fight you now with the shield. And he goes, long forgotten honor, and leaves. And I'm like,
Oh.
And then I'm like, no one else can plant a banner except in the middle room. I could plant it here, where the Predator definitely can reach me, which is not very good. And I'm like, that was stupid. I shouldn't have done that.
Yeah.
So I lost 2 points by doing that on turn 2, because if I'd planted on the left there, like I would have gotten the 2 for sure. Yeah. And then it spiraled into turn 3, where I also wasn't able to plant a banner. And so if I'd already planted it, I might have scored another 2, but I didn't because I hadn't planted it yet. So I was like, well, this is really, really bad. And then I managed to, like, I do kill this Warp Talon with the 3 sisters here. Like, he charges in, he kills one, I pass the fight to the shield for the other, then I kill him with the other. So I trade 1 for 1 with the Warp Talon because of this setup I do here with the shield.
Yeah.
But it really ends up, like, I could have just, like, done the same thing last game, like, rotate over 9 here and just play the middle room now. Like, you know.
Yeah, especially
one sister is sitting on a door.
No gun, right? So you can really run away from that operative.
Yeah. He's gonna be on the door. He's gonna open. He's gonna kill one chick and then like do nothing. And I get a benediction as well because she wasn't inspired. So I'm like, this seems fine actually. Now, and then after I'd committed to running the shield over and completely screwing my position, I was like, that was bad actually. Because I could have because he hadn't broken this wall down yet either. So he has this plasma gunner sitting on this objective defending it. And because it's data, he has to sit here for the entire game.
Yeah.
So, like, neither of these Space Marines is really joining the middle. So I could have effectively 2 dead Space Marines, for, you know, practically speaking, in terms of what they're doing for the rest of the game.
Here,
and then for one sister, yeah. And I just leave, and I'm like, cool, okay, this is fine. And then I can, have...
Actually, 4, what do you call it?
4 sisters.
Or no, 4 Space Marines, right? 4 Murder Wing operatives. That's
versus
actually
8
a
sisters.
game. You can actually play them.
Yeah. Yeah. So it's and also by this point he had gone for this play where he did the retrieval play.
Yeah.
So it would effectively be 7 sisters versus 3 Marines.
Yeah.
Which is like very winnable. Like even if they're all the crazy Marines, it's still very winnable.
Yeah.
So if I had just done the play as I'd initially envisioned it and just rotated away, it would have been a lot easier. But I just kind of like I thought I can do this cool thing. It's gonna be so sick. And then it completely made the game way harder than it needed to be by doing that.
Okay. And so what would you tell a fledgling sister player to think about when they go into the Murder Wing matchup?
Like, just spread out as much as you can so that because the thing is, if they charge and fight you, you have a good shot at just doing a lot of damage to them and then, like, popping a benediction or whatever, or even living if you're inspired and have damage reduction. So, like, just as long as you don't let the Predator get value, you have a good shot. That's the main thing you really have to watch out for. Because if he can get, like, a double spin, the game's kind of done. But as long as you avoid letting them double spin, like, you do just so much damage in melee and can just randomly survive fights and then also have strike on death. So, like, let's say the Warp Talon charges you and he rolls, like, 2 crits, 2 hits, and you roll, like, crit and 2 hits, okay? And he's just pushing damage. If you're inspired, he needs to hit you 3 times to kill you.
Yeah.
Which is really bad. And then if he's like just spamming hits on you, you're gonna hit him for 8. He's gonna hit you because you're gonna hit him with the shock, discard 1, parry the other, take 8 damage. Then he fights you again. If you pass a relic, like you're gonna hit him for 4.
Yeah, right.
And if you've gotten more than 2 hits, you'll just kill him, like on death. So, like, if you make them fight you, like, one-on-one, like, an average outcome is you do 12 damage to him when he charges you. Like, that's a pretty reasonable outcome without even getting that lucky.
Yeah, I actually think this is, like, such an important part of Sisters. I want to take a moment for us to, like... Okay, so the first fight, right? You essentially have, let's say, like, 2 crits and 2 hits. And the crazy part is, let's say a fight like this... Someone confirms 4 hits on you, right? That happens a lot. you can live this fight between shock and between taking
relic roll.
-1 damage
Or
and
a
maybe
parry.
a relic or a parry. Right? There's
Yeah.
there's a bunch of ways that you see this versus even versus a melee operative. And you're like, okay, I'm living because you have the
Yeah.
tools. And so,
So,
what,
like, for example,
Mhm.
if we have crit and 2 hits as the sisters,
Mhm.
if he parries your crit so you can't shock him, and you parry this, you're only taking 7 damage.
Yeah.
If he parries again, you're only taking 4 damage. You have 5 health left.
Yeah.
Without even rolling relics. And then if you do this again, you just live. Like, he's just fought you. He's double fought you.
Yeah.
A really good space marine has just double fought you.
Yeah.
And if you have a high roll, like if you get 2 crits, 2 hits, let's say, or something,
Yeah.
you just beat it. You beat him down. Like, you actually just beat him down.
Bonk, bonk. Yeah. And then I think that's
And like, if it's
yeah.
the end of the turn, you just like, if it's like no fights left or whatever, you're like, oh, I've rolled, a crit and 2 hits or whatever. I'll CP roll this. Or if you roll bad, you go, oh, I've got 1 crit. I'll relentless this. And then, you have against murdering specifically, obviously, but like, against murdering, having access to the relentless, like, it makes it really easy to flip fights just by going, I'm gonna roll relentless, and then you just explode the guy who fought you.
Yeah, absolutely. I think, and then I also want to talk about the crazy part is, okay, now we're in the second fight. You see a similar thing. We're just gonna make it like 1 crit, 3 hits. The crazy part about this is you're at 1 HP, and it becomes still atrocious for your opponent because one, they've almost certainly taken 4 damage, and you're probably going to do some more damage. And now they between shock, and then relic, and strike on death, it you have these tools that can start going off where they can still lose this fight. Let's say they try to hit you, pull you relic.
If they got only 3 hits, if they only get 3 hits and they hit you, like, you die to this even with relics, because if you shock 1 away and they hit again, if you've got 1 HP. But if you have like 4 HP against the Warp Talon, you'll live here.
Yeah.
A chainsword or a chainsword.
And then
if you have 5 HP, a chainsword basically can never kill you.
Yeah, God.
If you have 5 HP and he rolls this, he just doesn't kill you. Like,
And then even in this thing, he could still be taking 8. Like, he could
correct.
still
Yes,
be,
that's the main thing. If you roll 3 hits and you've got 1 HP and you relics the first one, and you hit him again and then you strike on death, he just takes 8 damage.
Taking 8
from
damage,
you being on 1 HP.
Yeah, taking
1
12
HP
damage
model
over 2 fights is bad for that will always be bad for your opponent. It will always be bad.
Yes.
And like that is such a you always have to keep the relic around and the strike on death around specifically for these bad double fights to blunt this melee damage that many teams are gonna be able to bring against it.
Yeah, it can be absolutely crushing. And your odds are very good that you roll a relic. I think someone was doing it like if you roll 3 times 2 dice, you have like a 70% chance to roll a relic pass.
Yeah,
something like that.
Yeah, that's wild.
Which is like pretty good. That's better than most abilities. The most abilities say out of 3+. It's better than a 3 up.
Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else on this game before we go to game 4?
Yeah, the sicko way I drew this game.
Yeah,
so
please.
What ends up happening is I put my superior here because I'm shooting stuff, and his chaos sword ends up charging and killing her. So he's sitting here.
Yeah.
And he's taking a bit of damage. So there's this sister here, and this sister here, and the chaos sword here, and my denuncia. End of turn 3.
Yeah.
I've got +5 initiative at this point, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna win initiative.
Yeah.
My denuncia walks into this room. There's a hunt master sitting on this objective, his data, and she throws a stun grenade at him, or whatever, the psych out, and stuns him. Back here, my shield is still inspired. I win the initiative. I uninspire the shield to +1 my denuncia so that I can collect the data, and because now I'm 3 APL and he only has 2. And then she charges around the corner here into the Chaos Lord to tie him up, so he has to fight her first before charging this lady.
Wow.
She ends up like doing 3 damage to him, and then he charges and gets killed by her.
Wow.
And then this lady downloads, walks over here, and plants a banner because she has 3 APL.
That's wild. Oh my gosh. Oh, that's crazy. That is a Rube Goldberg machine of complexity to draw your game, dude. Congratulations.
Yeah. Well, it would have been much easier if I just planted a banner earlier, but it was a really crazy... I was like, looking at this, I'm like, I'm so screwed. Oh, wait, I've got a sick play. Watch this.
I see a line. There's a line.
I'm like, I will win initiative. Well, I mean, I had +5, so I was like, I'll get initiative, surely.
Yeah.
And so I was like, okay, so I just need the stun grenade to work, and then I'll draw. And it did. So I was like, okay, that's pretty good.
That is rad. That was super rad. That was a cool play. All right, and we're still on day 1. Did you do 4 rounds day 1? Oh my gosh! So somehow you have to finish that game, and you go into BattleClade. This is the funniest thing for me because I've been to 4 round events, and I can only imagine like having to play against Murder Wing, and you're like eking out this like close draw, and then you like show up to your next table, and you're like stake claim BattleClade. You're like, okay,
I'm so sorry.
Yeah. Right.
This was a really quick, stupid game.
Okay.
We did this game in like 45 minutes.
Oh god. Okay, fair. Which side did you end up getting?
I can't remember if I won the side roll off, but I got red.
Okay, fair.
I think I won it and took red, but I can't remember.
Yeah.
Anyway, this was a very silly game. So I started this game, and my plan was I'm gonna run him and hit him. He has more activations than me, so I can't wait. So I'll just run him and hit him.
Yeah.
And I had a few moments of fear where I was like, man, if his flame light walks up and shoots me and he rolls like 4 hits and I only get 2 saves, I'll die. And then I was like, no, wait, I've got 9 health. I won't die. And so then I just started walking into his models. I was like, wow.
I'm getting flashbacks of Novitiates versus Scouts last edition, man. Like, wait, if the flamers all hit and then oh wait, no, it doesn't matter. Never mind.
No.
Nothing matters.
But anyway, the game starts out very silly. So he walks one of his servitors up here so that he can like do something to stop me, just putting sister.
Yeah.
Because my plan is to put a sister here. I put a ladder here.
Yeah.
And the sister's just going to run up to this door and sit here so he can't enter this building. So he's like, well, I want to put some pressure on. I put the shield there. So like no one's ever getting through that.
Mm-hmm.
So he moves up his flamer here. I put my Mortar Sanctus here and like challenge him to a duel.
Mm-hmm.
He accepts it. So, I'm just like running models forward basically. I put a couple here. I put my flag here. I put a heavy barricade up here like this so I can stage, here and here and then, here and here. And I've got movement like that. This is the general setup. I'm rushing through it because this is a very silly game very quickly.
Sure. Yeah, go for it.
But the general setup was like flag ran here. Inspired my Denuncia. I brought the Denuncia in this game. I did bring the Sensor because they hit on 4s for like half their team.
Yep.
And so making them hit on 5s is really funny. I put the Sensor at this window and I was like, well, she ran here turn 1, and then turn 2 she was gonna like go on to their objective as well. Because also she has the extra control and it's stake claim. So if I like can get a charge on here or something with her on like turn 3, she'll just take the objective and they can't shift her off of it. And they hit on 4s, which is really bad. But anyway, the game then gets really silly really quickly. I do this charge. I have my 5 attacks against his 3, whatever. And I roll like 2 hits, not a single crit. And he rolls like a crit and a hit. Or a crit like 2 hits. And I spend a CP to kill him, which I do. I get the kill.
Okay.
He has Iron Soul up, so I can't use my crit to parry his crit because I have to do, if I do 4/4, he might live. So I'm like, well, okay. I'll take the crit damage and I'll kill him and I'll Inspire and it's fine. So I'm on 5 health there. His Heavy Bolter pops out to here, shoots her, does 0 damage.
Oh my god.
Spends like 3 CP on rolls. Like he rolled like 2 hits. And he's like tilting. He's like, I'll CP roll, fail, CP roll, fail, CP roll, fail. Because he's just trying to get the piercing crits. Because he needs the crit to get the piercing.
Yeah.
To then actually do some damage. He rolls 8 dice, doesn't get it. I save it. I don't die. Then I'm actually hoping for her to die because I want a Benediction plus 1 here.
Push back. Yeah, absolutely.
Because then I can move dash here and door fight a guy who's sitting here. I'm like, that's annoying. I guess I'll activate my banner and inspire my Denuncia because I'd inspired my like leader or something here. He does another, then he counteracts, shoots this scale again, does 0 damage again. I'm like, okay, sure. Then I move the Denuncia over, +1 this guy. He, moves someone up onto the objective, retrieves. I then move dash and hatchway fight this guy with my shield. And I have to spend my remaining 3 CP on rerolls to kill him.
Oh my gosh.
And only maybe kill him because I used the power sword. I didn't charge because I'm door fighting, right?
Yep.
So I don't roll any crits. So if he busts an incantation roll, I actually just die on this fight in my turn.
Oh my gosh.
So luckily for me, following my terrible luck, he also gets unlucky. But I do take like 8 damage to this like servitor and melee again. And then the rest of the game, but after that I'd killed 2 ready operatives, so I have last activation.
Yeah.
So I kind of just like move up, my sensor charges the guy here or something, or someone charges on here,
Sure.
and BattleClade can't kill my models. Like I walk out here, I flame this guy to inspire myself. These two sisters can't die because no one else can get across the street. Oh no, actually, sorry. his underseer goes here and shoots, and also does 0 damage.
Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, that's so brutal, dude. Oh my god.
Well, like, but this is like BattleClade, dude. They just do 0. Like hitting on 4s sucks.
hitting on
hitting
4s
on
does
3s
suck. Confirmed.
Hitting on 3s with no rerolls and trying to get rending really sucks. Like,
Yeah.
so, and then after that, like after all this misery, there's like 5 sisters on this half of the board. I took dominate because like it made sense to me. There's like 5 inspired
sisters. So you
sisters.
scored
Like,
dominate from this? No way. Wait, does she get away?
oh, not on turn 2.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh, you mean the? Yeah. Next turn I win initiative and I charge and I kill this guy.
Oh my god.
And then she doesn't die. She collects 2 dominate tokens.
Oh my god. That's criminal.
Like, well,
you're a bad man.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. That's
yeah.
wild.
Yeah. That's no piercing guaranteed against 3-up saves. It's bad.
Yeah.
It's really bad.
Well, okay.
Oh yeah, I got mad value. This was a mad value game for the reroll saves while engaged. I played that every turn, and I was just like, everyone's engaged, and I'm rerolling all my saves.
Yeah.
I'm not dying. You have like no good piercing. You have all these flamers that don't have piercing.
No.
Really great play into a shooting team. It's really good play.
That is wild. Versus shooting team that can't kill you. Rerolling saves is great. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it makes them really not kill you. You take like no damage.
That's wild. Okay.
So yeah, and I look. BattleClade sucks, and this matchup really sucks for them. And then he got unlucky.
Yeah.
I don't know if I have many takeaways from this game.
Yeah, wild. Okay. Fair. Well, you like to at least the last one's easy, you know? Fair. So you end game 4, and then you're on to game 5 here. Just real quick, sorry, just a takeaway. I want to the things I heard that I think might be important for like a person, you know, starting sisters. If someone's hitting on 4s, taking them to +5 is wild. Almost never the wrong thing to do. Like, the math is just, it's such a crazy break point where if you're ever versus someone who most of their things are on 4s, you're probably taking the sensor just to bring them to 5s. Like, it's like always.
Yes. Yeah, like making a Brood Brother Melter hit on 5s, like you don't want to get shot by a Melter, but if it hits on 5s, it's like, okay, this is fine actually.
Yeah, and then another thing
fine.
I liked about your plan here is you're committing a melee operative over here to kill a ready operative, so you start being activation neutral. This is great because the Mortis Sanctus often, unless you're about to have a blowout, often is like going to kill one operative in this matchup. And if they're able to kill a ready operative and then they have to commit resources to her, assuming she even does die, and you're pulling them out of position onto the flank of the map where they're going to have a hard time then contributing, you've done everything you need to. You've taken tempo away because they have to commit a good gun toward the side of the map. They don't want to be on the side of the map. They want to be in the center. And you've killed a ready operative. So now your activation near neutral when you're starting to trade. Yeah, awesome.
When you I guess we can talk about that. It actually, because I got out activated by one other team, I think, this tournament. Yeah, well, I mean Murderwing, but that doesn't count.
Yeah, it doesn't.
So when you're out activated as any team, you kind of have 2 options. Either you like sit back, do nothing on turn 2, and you make them walk onto the middle, and then you go fight them on turn 3.
Yeah.
Or you commit so hard that you can like kill their ready operatives, and then you can flip the advantage on turn 2. But you kind of have to decide one or the other. So my plan was to either flip it, you know, once he moved this guy up to put threat, my plan was to kill that guy.
Yeah.
But my initial plan was I'm going to put the shield here and door fight someone, which either means he gives up this entire stronghold, which is where the objective is, so he can't do that, or I get to bring the activations down to being even. And some people and you also have to identify if your opponent is really good and they're really good at playing a higher activation team, they generally won't let you do that. So you have to have a plan for either like taking enough space that you score points, or you give it up. Like, because like I'm okay at this setup here, he can't really reach me if he wants to not lose models, so I can be here and I can take space. Or alternatively, and also Dominate is really good for this because Dominate, you don't have to do anything on turn 2.
Yeah.
You can do nothing on turn 2 and still get your 3 points on Dominate on turn 3, 3 on turn on 4. So that's why Dominate is good when you're unactivated, specifically, and why Banner is bad and Envoy is bad. You don't bother playing Banner or Envoy unless you have again, if you have one of the maps that where you can put a banner and sit around it, like on ITD or Tomb World, you can play Envoy or you can play Banner on those maps. That's okay when out activated. But generally, when you're out activated on open, if you planned a banner, they're just gonna contest it, and you're gonna score 0 because that's how it works. So either you're gonna be chilling and be yeah, you can get a crit up lead, and then I'm gonna just sit here, generate inspirations, generate 3 APL with the Nuncia, and then kick you off the objectives on turn 3 and turn 4. Or you go so far forward that either they give everything up and sit back here, or you get to make these charges, and if you kill 2-3 models, now you have last activation. And generally, teams with 10+ models, unless they're Kassakin, are gonna struggle to kill you in one go. And secondly, if someone first activation turns 2 runs up and melter guns your sister, you're actually happy. That's a winning play for you, because if you're playing Kassakin, you have 2 models that can maybe kill sisters. And one of them is the Melter. And so if he trades 1 for 1, yeah, you have less models as sisters, but the relative value, that Melter gun is worth 3 Kassakin models in this matchup.
Yeah.
So if you go here and he goes, all right, I'll run my Melter at you. I want initiative. I'll shoot you. And you're okay, please do. Because then you're gonna, kill that guy. And now suddenly they've got one gunner that scares you. And even the plasma is not that reliably killing a sister. So especially the shield. You have the shield tank the plasma, you make it hit on 4s with the sensor, and you're okay. If I have relics and inspired, the plasma never kills you. It's so unlikely that you die to the plasma. If he gets crit in 2 hits, or even 2 crits in a hit, and you save a normal, you got 4 dice to roll a Jas, or you save a crit in a normal, and then you just don't die ever, you potentially take 0 damage from the plasma. Once the Melter is dead in a Kassakin or an Aquilon's matchup, you're chilling. So against those teams, you're okay, drop your Melter on me. Go ahead. Yeah. Especially if you put it in if you put an inspired lady and go, yeah, drop the Melter, kill her, I'll take my benediction, I'll inspire someone else of killing you, and now you don't have a Melter anymore.
Yeah. And we should probably clip that for 3 months from now, because I think that's what a lot of the people will be thinking about. I think that's where our meta is headed. But yeah, that makes a lot of sense. That's probably why we're thinking Kassakin Aquilon makes a lot. Yeah, that's going to be top of mind, I think. All right, on to game 5. This is into Wrecka Crew again, into one of my most hated maps, but whatever. I don't think it's particularly bad for sisters. I just hate it, period.
I hate this map too, but actually no. I love this map because I know how to make it miserable for the other person, but
yeah, I mean, exactly. So, all right, so sides, how's this go?
So I went side selection and I picked blue, because when you pick blue, you're happy.
All right, you want to walk us through deployment and your plan here?
Sure. So I end up, I think there's light cover here. Yeah, there is. So my plan, I end up putting 2 barricades here, here and here. Light barricades. I can fit through here and stuff like that. And my basic plan is I'm going to plant a banner here, and he's never going to be able to take it.
Yeah.
So actually, I'm pretty sure here, you can plant the banner from here with a 32 and be in cover here. So you don't even... This barricade here... No, there's a barricade here, and then a barricade here so the teleporter doesn't shoot me, but I can open this door.
Yeah.
That's right. So I put my plan is I'm going to plant my banner here, and I'm going to just win the game. And it's... What was it? Secure?
Yes,
I'm going to go last. I'm going to tap this point. If he tries to, stand on guard, I'm going to shoot him a bunch with silent. I put 1 sister on the teleporter as well, just for fun. And then the rest of the plan is I'm going to line up 3 or 4 sisters here, like this.
Yeah.
To bait him, to bring models here, and then I'm just going to walk away.
Yeah.
So what ends up happening, he puts his boss knob, a Rocketeer, and a Squig here, because he's playing Wrecka Crew.
Yeah.
And he had brought 1 Breaker Boy, but he wanted him to break this, which was a misplay. So, we end up deploying, and he deploys like this, and I'm like, okay, my plan's going to work. His boss knob walks in here. He has a barricade that he put up here. I have my my flamer here, the cremator, to make it so he has to stay back.
Yep.
I open this door, and I throw a stun grenade at him, and then I close the door and walk away. And so the boss knob Literally does nothing the entire game.
Oh.
On turn four, he opens his breach point.
Cool.
This was just one of those, like, I understood the map and Tomb World really, really well.
Yep.
And my opponent messed up on the setup.
Yeah.
So the other orc gets to the game on turn 3 because he walks back to here. So turn 2, he opens this wall so the knob can go to his objective.
Yeah.
Turn 3, he walks here and, like, guards, I think, or shoots the sister or something. His plan is very similar to mine, which is he puts a barricade here and he wants to plant a banner here.
Right.
Which is, equally a good plan,
Yep.
except for the fact that it's very easy for me to contest from here.
Yeah.
And so I end up kind of just, like, taking control of the middle and then sweeping like this, because it's basically on turn 2, it's like 8 sisters versus 2 orcs basically. And 8 sisters beat, 4 orcs, and 8 sisters do just beat 4 orcs. He tried to on turn 2 contest this by walking up here, because otherwise I was going to open this and charge onto his banner. So he puts his, like, demolisher boy here, I think, the one with the hammer, so I can't open and fight him because I have my Mortar Sanctus and my shield lady behind that breakable wall to charge out to contest the banner. So I just run up with my leader. I inspired her with my banner. One thing I started doing as the tournament was, I just started inspiring my leader on turn 1 so that I could play free ploys with her.
Yeah.
So in this case, I play the +1 inch movement for free, which gets me onto the objective within 2 of him just with a move.
Yeah.
And then I shoot him in the face. And I do like 8 damage to him. He heals back up to like 4. And then I just do it again. And I'm like, okay. I kill him. I charge someone else. I think I do actually declare a fight with the leader because I'm like, yeah, she's 10 wounds, damage reduction.
Yeah.
And actually, yeah, I also declare the fight because if I do any damage to him, I'm going to teleport in here and finish him off.
Yeah.
Because I've got a sister sitting on that teleporter waiting to go in there and just bully the orcs.
I think that makes a lot of sense. And here is, I think Wrecka's is a pretty okay matchup for the ladies, especially on Into the Dark from what I've seen, or Tomb World, whatever. And it's just because you can find these banner spots where it's so hard for them to, like, they do get plus APL, but they only get plus APL to kill more things. They don't really get plus APL to, like, get to places, if that makes any sense.
Yes, correct, yes. If they have a charge already, they'll get plus APL, or if they have a shoot already, they'll get you. But if they can't do that, it's really hard. They can't move that shoot you at all. Like, they have no ability to, move 8 or 9 or whatever and shoot, which is really important to have.
Yeah. And so, like, this like keep away game of just like, okay, try to get to this banner, and it's like maybe you put a lady in like as a speed bump, and then once that happens, they have no real way to, like, get through. Yeah, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah. Again, he put a guy here and a squig here.
Yeah.
And because the squig is engaged, he's gonna struggle to, like, if he opens the door turn 1, it's risky because I can charge his gunner. If he doesn't open it, the squig can't do anything. And even if he does open it, the banner's standing here. I'm like, yeah, you can charge and kill her. Again, I did the same thing where I'm like, yeah, if you want to, go after the banner with the squig and then charge and fight her and kill her, and then I'll clean up. That's fine by me. Because I have these 2 sisters here that are safe from him here that are going to clean that up. He chose instead to rotate over this way, which, I think this worked out better for me than it would have otherwise. But again, I was just winning from the, like, I had a better setup. I had a better overall plan because I had this to contest his banner, and it's almost impossible for Wreckers to get across to here.
Yeah.
Like,
I'm just gonna,
it's so hard.
I'm just gonna clear the
Clean
board
it up
for a second.
Yeah.
So, like, essentially, his paths are either through here, hate it.
Yeah.
Through here, hate it. Through here, hate it.
Which is really bad.
Yeah, all of
because again, I have my barricade here with my 2 sisters here.
Yeah.
So if he teleports, all he's doing is teleporting my sister into his room where I want her, and then getting shot for a turn. Yeah. And then if he survives getting shot for a turn, then he can do something.
Yeah. All of those are like 2-turn plans to get to the banner. And in the middle of every week, like each of those movements, you get shot. And if you get shot, you're probably dead.
Yes.
Yeah.
The one thing I would have done that I didn't do, so, like, in terms of equipment, I brought the mortis, the relics, and the stun grenades, and I brought the light barricades. I probably would drop the mortis for a breaching charge.
Yeah, interesting. Yeah. Especially if you want to play here. Yeah, breaching charges has been surprisingly good, in my opinion.
Breaching charges are fantastic. And like, I thought I was going to be like doing some inspires here. like cross map from myself from there. But I was like, I realized that I'm like, I don't really need to or want to. I want to bait him here and then leave, and then I want to actually just breaching charge and go through without having someone die. I mean, if someone dies and I use the +1 APL, once per game here, I can do the same thing. But it's like I could just have that without someone dying. That seems pretty good.
Yeah.
And I specifically also didn't go Denuncia on this map because there's just nowhere good to put her.
Yeah, she
So,
just can't get to other
while
gals. That's wild. Yeah.
Yeah, because like the relic's gonna stand here, and I don't want to put her here because I want to put someone with a gun that can shoot an orc if they teleport. I don't want to put her here because this is where my leader's going to be able to, threaten this. I don't want to put her here because that's why my banner holder's going. And also, if I put her here, she can't see the relics. So I can't inspire her. It's just really awkward to use her on this map, so that's why I didn't bring her. If, like, I don't know, if the objective was, like, here or something, and I could set up something like that, and then you could +1 APL with an Enuncia here, that would be much better, but that's a theoretical map that doesn't exist, so...
Fair. All right. Okay, let's move on. And next is game 6. Download. This is versus Murder Wing here.
Yep.
All
so
right.
I learned my lesson, and I plant my banner properly this game. That's what I did. And you'll notice there's like 4 extra points there. So
all right, fair.
I lose side select.
Yeah.
But my opponent ends up picking a red side, which is my dream.
Yeah, for sure.
So I get blue.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna plant a banner up here.
Yeah.
You notice things like similar to the last banner. This is slightly worse because I only have 1 door instead of 2. This door here is kind of annoying, but it's fine.
Yeah. It's fine, but it can.
The only thing that sucks about this map is it's like really hard to like open the door. Like you have to kind of set up this person here, and even then it's really hard to reach.
Yeah.
Actually, don't even know if you can. I ended up not opening this door on turn 1 because I messed up because I put like my sword and my shield here, and they were gonna go sit here, and then I sent my banner up here. So in this game, I dropped the Denuncia because I thought it would be really hard to inspire and set stuff up.
Yeah.
I did bring the sensor because it's download. The thought being she controls better, and so if there's a 3 APL guy here, and I +1 her, she can like walk on and steal it. Specifically because of the way download works. For those who don't know what download does, is basically you can do an action on the objective on the middle or your opponent's territory. If you do the action, that objective basically gets disappeared from the game. And you score 1 point if you do it on turn 3 and 2 points if you do it on turn 4. So being able to download is really important.
Yeah.
So I bring her, and I don't bring the Denuncia. I end up with Flamer, 3 crossbows, and then the 5 special ladies, I think. Is that right? Maybe it was 2 Flamers, 3 crossbows.
Okay.
And then shield, sword, sensor, leader.
Yeah.
Flag. No, so it is 3 crossbows, 1 Flamer. Setup is kind of similar idea to the game against the elves, except I put a sister with a crossbow here to flex either way, and then I put the Flamer here. This objective is actually like, I think it's impossible to put a barricade here and not get flamed.
Yeah.
I think this whole objective is within 9 of this door. So he ends up putting like a heavy here and a light here. He puts like his plasma gunner here, then he floats over to here and goes on guard, which I end up abusing. I walk the crossbow over, I do like 2 damage to him.
Yeah.
And then I just sit here. I don't walk the flamer out. I was okay. This was a moment of like I could take the sicko play, but I don't think I need to. I really heavily considered just charging the guarding guy because he's hitting on 4s with his plasma gun. It's very likely you live, and then you just kill the plasma.
Yeah, because he's not fighting anymore. Yeah.
That being said, I was just like, I don't think I need to take this risk because if it goes badly, it's really bad. But genuinely. And I was doing the math, and I'm like, so I'm like inspired, so I get relics, and I save on 3s, and he gets on 4s. So like, if he gets like crit and 2 hits, and I save 1, I have relics still. If I save 2, I just live. And also, it's he has no rerolls unless he wants to CP rerolls his 4's plasma gun. Yeah. But I was just like, I was like, it's good, but I'm like, I don't think I need to take this risk.
Yeah, you just don't need to.
If we had a similar scenario, but I didn't have this really great banner, like this banner to me meant that I was winning the game at the start of the game.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, if I was like in a position where I thought I was losing, like if we had the same situation but opposite sides, where I was like, okay, I'm not gonna get 6 on my banner guaranteed. Yeah. I need to I need to like make an advantage somewhere. This charge is like 60-40 in my favor, probably 70-30 even. I would take this charge, but I was like, the downside's too big, and I don't need to do this. So what ends up happening on this bottom is I actually just like I take this shot with the crossbow. I'm not in cover because the flame is standing here, so but I am obscured, so he doesn't take the shot back. And then I just close the door afterwards and sit here.
Mm-hmm. And
the idea is that I have Mortis in this, and his Warp Talon pops out here, and like walks forward here because he's playing flank. And his plan is, he also goes on guard here, so pops out guards, takes the flank. So I'm just like, if I don't win initiative, I want to sit here on the door closed so he can't kill both of them. And if someone dies who's inspired, I'm going to Mortis, +1 APL to Cremator, shoot this guy, and charge both of them, which is exactly what ends up happening.
Oh, interesting.
And I get a bit unlucky later in the turn on the rolls of the fights. So I end up losing this. Mm-hmm. There was with that play, there was a very real chance that these two sisters were going to beat these two murdering operatives.
Yeah.
I was like, what ends up happening is I do like 9 damage to him with the flamer. He fails his save, so he gets only 1 save instead of 2.
Yeah.
Which even if he took 6 damage, it would have been bad for him.
Yeah.
Because it'd be a 9 wound sister against a 9 wound Warp Talon. But it ends up being a 6 wound Warp Talon against a 9 wound sister. He ends up fighting, and I just roll like no hits, and he just kills her.
Yeah.
Down to 1 He gets her down to 1 HP, and then the plasma gunner fights her, and I fail my relics roll, and I also roll no hits when fighting the plasma. So the 12 wound plasma could have like just died, or the 6 wound Warp Talon could have just died.
Yeah.
If either of those things happen, I then +1 APL the crossbow sister here, and she like charges, kills this guy, shoots this guy, and cleans up the whole room.
Yeah.
Instead, the plasma kills this guy, floats over, shoots the sister, rolls 3 crits, and kills her.
Okay, fair. Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, like, in this scenario, it was very realistic that these two sisters were just gonna beat these two murdering operatives.
And I think the important part about that is, again, you're only keeping 4 murder wing operatives to the other 2/3 of the map, and that's just like. Yes, you have 7 versus 4. You'd obviously rather have 8 versus 4, but that's still like a very asymmetrical threat. And I think I want to try to quantify for someone who's watching, like maybe why this banner is so good here. And the reason is because it takes a lot of activation and a lot of tempo to get to this banner to try to get it. And you can never be safe as the murder wing player. You're never ending on that banner, and you're like, okay, and now I'm not taking 1 million damage. With the answer is yes, you are.
So my setup ended up being I put a light barricade here and a light barricade here. So I ended up putting because the predator was in the middle. He was like sitting here.
Yeah.
So I ended up putting 2 sisters like this.
Mm-hmm.
Then I put my Mortis Sanctus on the banner. I think I had my leader back here. This is my leader. And then I had like 1 sister here. There was 5 sisters there. And then it was like the shield and the sensor lady for the middle. So the shield and the sensor are here.
Yeah.
Because importantly, so it's 5-2-2.
Yeah,
5-2-2. Yeah. Importantly, the Predator from this door cannot charge you here if you set up slightly behind.
Incredibly important. Incredibly important.
And doubly important, with +1 movement, you can charge him.
Yeah,
because this is like 8.1 or something. So if you charge 8, you're within 1. So you set up here. You can open this door and not be in charge range. If move dashes spins once, that's really bad. So he's not going to do that.
Mm-hmm.
So you can set up here, have pressure across this. He had a barbed wire like here, so I couldn't charge up here. But again, importantly, he can't charge here either.
Yeah.
This is getting messy if you want to clean it up again.
Sure. Yeah, and I think just to talk about it real quick, the great part is you have set up, which is this makes Murder Wing possible to win. You have set up asymmetrical paths, right? They can't shoot. Yes. They can't charge here. They can't charge here, but you still have a way to go this way. And so with this asymmetrical charge path, then you can start flexing because now malicious narcissism doesn't actually gain them any tempo because you have a threat that they can't answer by going last.
Yeah, so the main problem he had was he just hadn't set up his like little terrain barricades stuff properly. Like he probably should have gone razor wire like there to let him have this open the entire time without risk.
Yep.
And then he could have. It's a bit hard to fit 2 pieces of terrain here, but you can mess around with it.
Yeah.
It's also, this room is really good. Again, this is like this is a very good map because there's like 4 doors here, so it's really hard to set up terrain stuff properly. Yep. Like if one less of these doors exists, it's much easier to properly block stuff.
Yeah.
So me getting this side was really helpful. And then so I plant the banner there. He ends up going aggro because he went flank, which I kind of understand, but I kind of don't. Like the reason you go flank is because like he kind of assumes he's never getting this. So the most he's getting on retrieval is 4. And then so he wants to like just not worry about it and just like be aggressive.
He wants to own this, right? This is like his house.
The problem with that is what ends up happening is he puts his Chaos Lord up there. I go here and I open this door. My leader runs out here, shoots him in the face. I've got +3 to initiative. I win it anyway. My leader shoots the Chaos Lord again. The Depredator's like here, so I just charge the Depredator. And then another of my this game, I just shouldn't have rolled any fight actions. I'm like sitting there, like I've shot the leader, I've killed him. I'm like, okay, I'm in a good position. Do I fight the Depredator? I'm like the only way I lose is if this goes horribly wrong. But then I'm like, but he hits on 4s and I hit on 3s. It's fine. I'll fight him. And then I roll 0 hits. And I had to use the Relentless earlier to finish off the like 4 wound Chaos Lord.
Yeah.
So I rolled badly on the crossbow, Relentlessed it, killed him, then charged and fought the Depredator. And I was like, okay, I got 0 hits. I'll like CP roll 1 so I can at least like do 4 damage to him, I guess.
Yeah.
Failed that too. Which, and also if I had actually gotten that, it would have meant she lives because I could have, if I jazzed like his crit or something, I could have lived. Oh, she just died. And I'm like, okay, that's really bad. I do something clever though. There's a sister here who had opened the door previously. On death, I dash her to physically block the door.
Nice.
Because if I don't, the Predator is spinning into 3 people.
Yeah.
So, you know, she dies. I dash out here. I'm like, no, okay, you can't Predator kill everyone. But then the main thing is I just keep sitting here defending this banner and playing to capture this objective. I say I remembered to play my banner properly, but I only remember to do that for 2 turns out of 3.
Oh Jesus!
So end of turn 3.
Yeah.
My banner is here, like whatever, safe in the corner here. He has this guy here, not contesting the banner, and my Mortar Sanctus is just sitting on this. This guy's on 6 health. I'm gonna kill him, right? And I charge like this. So I want to contest this door.
Yeah.
And I charge and I fight him and I kill him and I'm like, no one can reach my banner this turn. I'm just like, oh, that's -3 points, I guess.
Oh god, because it locks you into 4/6. Jeez. Oh my god, dude.
So I have -3 points for no reason. I'm like, okay, that's bad. Yeah. It ends up being fine, but I really had to like if I had that last time, I couldn't lose.
Yeah.
But it ended up making it really close. But I will say the +1 APL for control did kind of matter.
Yeah, that's wild. It is wild.
Because I did end up like what I imagined in my head literally happened. I had +1 APL sensor here. He had a Space Marine here, and I went, I'll download.
Yeah.
And I was like, okay.
All right,
good.
cool.
Thank God. It actually did and that ends up winning me the game because it scores me 2 points. And also because I control the non-download objective, that's 3 points.
Yeah.
And it secures it. It secures it because like if kill up goes slightly
12,
different,
and you would be
he could be like 12,
11. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you like had 1 more on kill up, it would mean I lose. But this meant that like even if kill up goes wrong, because the sensor can tap it, I will go up to 13 and he would go up to 12 and I would still win.
Yeah, nice.
So yeah. That was but I mean I actually should have had 17, but that's on me for just forgetting my banner.
I think there's something there though, because honestly, this is where fatigue for me often sets in. Is like game 6. My game 6s often are not my perfect games, especially in a 7-game series, because I don't have the adrenaline of game 7, and it's a long time, bud. It's a long time to be playing Kill Team. It's like,
I mean, I'm just like, I don't play Banner very often. Like, I mean, I in game 3 also forgot to do this, so.
yeah, fair.
But I was also like, at this point, like, I was already like winning by enough that I was like kind of
Yeah.
like maybe too confident that I wasn't checking stuff properly.
Mhm.
So it is what it is. But yeah, I was pretty happy overall with this game. Like, I think the rest of what I did was, I guess I'm annoyed that I declared this fight action even though it was good, because I was like, if I hadn't declared it, like the BAME state would have been so good for me.
Yeah.
Another fun thing I did. So I charged my sensor. I opened this door, charged into the predator, and didn't fight. Then I charged my shield and fought him, which you're thinking, well, you're giving him a double spin. First of all, I might just kill him with the power sword. I rolled a like 2+
on
lethal 5
fives,
power sword.
absolutely.
He gets more hits than me.
Oh my god.
I think I get like a crit and 2 hits, and he just rolls like 2 crits, 2 hits, and I'm like, well, piss.
Yeah.
So I do like 8 damage to him because I have to parry the crit to live. So I live on 1 wound. He then spins. He kills this lady. Does like 5 damage to this lady. Triggers martyrdom. I heal back up.
Yeah.
So I heal the sensor back up to full, so he can't kill her with a spin.
Yeah.
But actually, he should just finally die. This stupid Predator rolled so crazy in this game.
Yeah. What a Predator move. All right.
But then he like, he's annoyed because he can't kill me with a spin, and he thinks he has to kill me, so he declares the fight into the sensor, and then he just finally runs out of hits.
Yeah,
hits
okay.
me once.
Declaring a 5 of fight is probably never the move, dude. But okay.
I mean, like, at this rate, clearly it was the move. But
yeah, right.
They had to believe. But yeah, and so then the sensor kills him, and it was actually good. So.
Cool. All right, the finals. Transmission, Yeagris on Volcus. I think this is Volcus 5 or 11, depending how you count it.
It's the new one. It's the new 25-5, I think.
Yeah.
So I got side selection here.
Okay.
And I picked blue. And the reason I picked blue is mainly because I want to put my models on this wall.
Yeah.
Because Yeagris, okay, this matchup's Clayton is probably almost certainly the best player in Queensland, and maybe like top 3 in Australia. He is 6-0 with Yeagris at this tournament. Okay.
Yeah.
Like, and if I'm not here,
notoriously amazing team Hearthkin Yeagris. Okay.
Yeah. So realistically, if I don't come to this tournament, he has a very high chance of winning.
Yeah.
The problem is this matchup is like unwinnable if you're like even skill. Like, I don't know how Yeagris can win this in a way that isn't like randomly flipping the game with like a 5-man blast or something. Because if he shoots me, none of my sisters will not die. And if I stand on this wall and he charges and fights me, which is like the only way he can maybe kill me is if I'm uninspired and he charges and he fights me, well, I fight first, so I'm not going to die. So I just picked this side, and I'm like, I'm going to put like 2 sisters up here and 2 sisters here. And on turn 3 and turn 4, I'm going to kill every Jaeger on the board because they can't stop me. And Clayton realized this, and he's like, well, all I can do is play for standing, because we had top 8 was, you had your win-loss, and then it was points scored. And so Clayton's like, I can't win this game. I'm just going to try to score as many points as I can.
Yeah.
And so he ends up going for a kind of sick play that also automatically loses him the game, which is he plays Bonds That Bind, and he runs 2 people onto subjective, and he plants Device.
Okay.
Which is 3 points on tackle.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, he, between this activation and the next, forgets he has to control the objective of Plant Device. And he also forgets that my sensor counts as 3 for control. So I put the sensor on here, and his plan is to walk out here and Plant Device, and just score 6 on Plant Device, and try to get like 3 on transmission, and then maybe like 2 or 3 on the kill op. And that scores him like 15 points and like gets him 2nd or 3rd. That's his plan. And then I say to him, my sensor counts as 3 for control. And it's like, oh. So I can't Plant Device in the middle anymore. I'm like, no, you can't. And it's like, it's doubly bad as well because the relic reduces his control. That's why he has to do Bonds That Bind.
Yeah.
Because he can't just +1 APL. Like, against a normal sister, he would +1 APL and plant. And get, But because she counts as 3, he has to, he has to put 2 models onto this objective, use a really good ploy, give up his activation advantage. But again, I kind of don't blame him because like I don't think he can actually win this game. Unless all of my dice stop working and all of his dice roll like 4 hits every time on 4s.
Yeah.
It's so hard for like Yeagris are a team that can just get numbers checked, and Sisters are like a hardcore numbers check. Maybe even worse for them than Space Marines are for them, because like they can't like spike like a 3 crit thing and do like 15 damage to you and kill like an important model. Because you have 9 models, so it's actually worse for them. And you heal, and you heal.
Yeah.
And you reduce their melee damage.
Yeah.
And you have 2 Justice Scratches.
Yeah.
This is actually like a worse stat check for Yeagris than Space Marines are.
And if the math goes wrong at any point, you also have more activations. So like you have to have the math go more consistently more often, which is super rough.
So if Clayton had planted this, he would have scored like 15 and come second. But because I put the sensor here, he lost like 5 points. So I was like, I'm sorry, bro. I was like, oh, it is what it is.
Yeah, I mean, I think I just want to say it's great for you finding like finding a winning line this late in the game, knowing the matchups. Like sometimes the finals is somewhat anticlimactic when you know these kind of like rock paper scissors things. I think it's really cool to see like, yeah, so I show up, I know that he can't remove me, and so this is what we're doing. What tack up do you end up bringing? I assume it's what is it plant here?
No, it's just dominate.
Yeah, okay, dominate. Yeah.
You just do nothing to like if he plays safe, like you put your sensor here and you put the shield behind her and you control this for transmission because it's really hard. And if he tries to shoot her, he's hitting on 5s against the shield or 4s, like whatever. And then you're winning on transmission, and then turn 3 you go into his deployment and kill everyone.
Yeah. And so are you playing tack or crit? I assume crit.
I played crit here, yeah. Like on turn 2, he might be able to score 2 if he like sacks a lot of models, and then after that you're gonna get 6 on him. Oh no, actually, I think I went kill up this game. I think I went kill up. I was like,
what? That's
I was like, he could. He's not gonna kill 7 of my models, and I'm gonna kill 8 of his. Okay. And I'm gonna kill 8 of his. That's what I thought.
Yeah, fair. I mean, you have aggressive.
I was like, maybe I'll just stop transmitting. I'll just like walk off the objective to go kill his models.
Yeah. Okay.
I got to score dominate too, so
Yeah, that's all. Okay, rad. Okay.
I think I can't remember. It might have been crit up. Crit up makes sense. Like crit up is fine. Is probably the smart choice. But I was like, well, I want to score dominate, so maybe I won't want to be standing on the objectives. So I'll go kill up and then go kill his models.
That makes sense. Oh, well, then you walk away with your 6-0-1 record, and you take the top spot of the event.
Yes.
Okay. Well, congratulations. That's super awesome. What do you think the hardest game of this series was for you?
Honestly, while I drew the Murder Wing game, that was my fault to an extent.
Mm-hmm.
I think actually the Wrecka on Orb was actually the hardest game. I think it's the game part of it is also like the last tournament I went to was 5 months ago.
Yeah.
And the last tournament I actually like really cared about winning was 9 months ago at WTC.
Yeah.
So I haven't like turned on to try and win for a long time.
Yeah.
So like that game 2 and that game 3 against the Wreckas and the Murder Wing, I was like, my brain was like picking up steam.
Yep.
And so like come day 2, like I was playing so much, like I was the reverse. I wasn't fatigued. I was playing so much better on day 2 than day 1.
You're like
I forgot my
back,
banner.
Baby, we're so back.
I was like, I got to the table game 5, game 6, and I was like, I know exactly what I'm gonna do. I don't even have to think about this.
Yeah.
And so like the games on day 2 were harder because I think I was like spinning back up.
Yeah.
Because like other than that like random charge off the banner, I think I played that, and I guess fighting the Depredator. Yeah. But that Depredator fight is good. It's only bad in hindsight. But I guess if I'm like being really self-critical, there's no reason to declare that fight, so I shouldn't declare that fight.
Yeah.
I should just let the Depredator declare the fight or declare the double spin. And if he double spins and kills me and he's just sitting there, like, okay, cool. And if he double spins and doesn't kill me, that's even better. Like, so I just shouldn't fight him. It's the only way I can like lose this position. So yes, it is like, hindsight, I rolled bad, so it was bad. But also, it's hindsight, I didn't have to roll at all, so why did I roll dice?
Yeah.
Kind of thing. If I still had the Relentless, if I hadn't used it on the Chaos Lord, it's a different story. Because then the odds of rolling bad are so low that it's like stupid not to.
Yeah.
And then that game 7, I was like, I know that like it was a bit unfair. It was like,
I mean,
the matchup is really mean. And
over in the PW, me and Sean often play, and I've been the perpetual sister player, and he's been the perpetual dwarf player. So I understand that when you see each other, we see each other, and he's like, dude, come on, like, what are we doing here? Again?
Yeah, Yeagris versus Novitiates with infinite healing, half damage. So you've done 4 damage. That'll be 2. I'll heal for 3.
Yeah.
It's like, what?
Yeah.
Sorry.
And the story somewhat continues now with the sister team. Yeah, it's just
now you'll eventually kill one of them, and then I'll heal for more, and you do way less damage in everything else.
Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, cool. I was wondering. Okay, so if we had time, I also want to talk just generally about the sisters and kind of do a deep dive. So over here on the right, I wanted to talk about to start kind of like individual operatives here, and so I was gonna go over. And we're just gonna real quick lightning round, which ones auto include, which ones not. So superior, literally have to.
Obviously.
Abjure, we would say she's auto include, yeah?
Could I think of a situation where I wouldn't bring her? Probably not, no.
Okay.
I can't think of a reason I wouldn't.
And can you think of 1 or 2 reasons why you just snap her over there?
11 wounds.
Yeah, fair.
11
wounds, 2+ save.
11 wounds, 2+ save. That's it. Like, that's just all you. And also, get down, Mr. President is a really strong ability.
Yep, makes sense. How about the censor here? So you brought her maybe half the time, right?
Yes. So there's like conditions that need to be met, and then you bring her.
Yeah.
So teams where like -1 to hit is big. So in this case, Yeagris, it was big, and BattleClade, it was big. And then secondly, if like there's a crit op where like stealing someone's objective and having 4 or 3 APL is like really big.
Yeah.
So again, download is a big one. Power cells potentially. Like there's a few others. You can there's no point listing all of them because they'll change in a few months anyway. But again, if basically you read the tag up and you go, so if I like have initiative turn 4 and I walk here and I press this button, that's like 3 points randomly.
Yeah.
Then you can bring her.
Okay, makes sense. And then you might leave her home. What when that doesn't make sense?
Good shooting, like 3+ melters and stuff. You're like, I kind of don't want to, you hit on 4s and you'll still probably kill me. And also like double fighting teams. I don't know. Or like when you might like, if you want to like, the main problem with her is like, if you're not getting value out of the -1 to hit and the APL, she's really hard to use independently because she gets on 4s and I don't trust it. Like that's
I agree.
Like, and she doesn't have a gun. Like it's not so much that like there's like a particular situation. Like, sure, like if you're fighting Space Marines and they charge her and they fight her exactly, and then you pass it to the shield and you're living in your dream world, that's great. But the other problem I have is like she really struggles to do stuff on turn 2 because you have to expand the aura to 2 because otherwise you just get shot in the face and she's just worse.
Yeah.
Right. Which means you can only move her 6 on turn 1. And moving her 6 on turn 1, it's really hard to get her in front, like, right? And so
you kind of want her in front, but she was only moving 6 inches.
Correct.
And she has to find a place where she's safe. And so the places where she can be placed, it becomes very hard. And for some reason now, you're spending your prime deployment real estate. The best deployment slot is going to a sensor. And that's a defensive tool that some teams don't care about. And so if the team doesn't care about it, it's not worth her taking up your like main tempo spot. And like she has to be babied in terms of positioning, right? Is kind of what you're saying.
Yes. Yeah. She eats up a lot of resources to maybe do nothing.
Yeah.
Or you could just have a sister with a mace and a crossbow, or a mace and a flamer, and their sister can just walk up and do stuff.
Yeah, they're a solo hero
So
over there.
yes, she just has to like you have to put extra work in. So unless you're getting value out of her abilities, it's not great. That's my general thought. But like
Cool.
again, she can be like situationally,
Yeah,
she can be
amazing.
game winning.
Yeah.
But sometimes you're like, is this situation going to come up? Like we're playing, like secure or like maybe she's going transition. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, sometimes good, sometimes not. Depends on the map as well. Like if there's a good spot to put her and then put the shield behind. Also, if people have good blast, like good 2-inch blast,
Yeah.
like it really lowers her value because like suddenly like, well, now I can't tank with the shield combo, right? Or good torrent. Like if they have blast 1 or torrent, like if they have a blast 1 turbo grenade, they just walk up to her and go, yeah, I'll roll 4s.
Yeah.
And she just explodes to a 4-6 breacher grenade or whatever, right? Like if they're if it's one of those teams that like, if it's like Brood Brothers walks up to you, they throw their demo charge, they've got like 2 rerolls and they've got idolization, and you still probably just explode because you're not inspiring her. Like you're not inspiring her. She's not worth inspiring.
Yeah.
So you're not rolling 2 dice in your relics, and she just explodes. You're like, well, this could have been a warrior, and then I could have not messed around putting her up the front, and then I could have, not worried about all of this. Or I could have inspired the warrior and been like, this is, more valuable now as an inspired warrior because then, I can shoot the crossbow or do other stuff. It just ends up being like, yeah, it's a lot of resources invested. So you have to have a good situation for it, basically.
Makes sense. All right. Cremator. This gal.
Cremator is like good. I think like I'm like a 1 cremator every game believer.
Right.
And then maybe 2 on some ITD maps.
All right, we moving her over to auto include then, huh?
I think so. So like my general thought is hitting on 2+ really good.
Yeah,
that's really it.
Hitting on 2+ really good. I agree. Also,
that's it.
Getting inspired's insane.
Getting inspired without having to charge.
Yeah.
Getting inspired without having to charge someone is really good.
Okay.
Like those 2 things like make me want to always run 1.
Yeah.
Because I think I can find a place to get value out of that.
Yeah.
And I don't know that I can get value out of a 4th crossbow. Maybe on like ITD against like a high activation horde team, where it's really hard to make use of the Seek Light, and they have a bunch of Seek Light and they have a bunch of shooting from far away. But even then, like having the 1-inch torrent is like a nice threat, and you can probably like maybe on sometimes you can bring all silent if it's like an all shooting team that sits far away, and you're like, well, she's never gonna get to shoot someone, and if she shoots someone, she's just dying. Maybe.
Okay.
But like I'm pretty much like I'll bring 1 every game.
All right. Denuncia. She was dropped in about a third of your games. That sound right?
Something like that. Yeah. Basically, you need to have an idea for like what she can do turn 2 that's really useful. Whether it's like +1 APLing somewhere to do mission stuff or opening doors on ITD. Basically, it's like, is +1 APL somewhere here gonna be really, really good?
Yeah.
And then after she does that, she becomes a heal bot, which is fine. But I feel like if you're bringing her, you gotta have like an idea on like what is she doing on turn 2 that's worth something. Yeah. Or against like teams that do like, okay. It's kind of like self-defeating because like against teams that don't do a lot of damage.
Yeah.
But you also just win those games anyway. Like if you're playing as like BattleClade or
Yeagris,
Yeagris,
by more is great. It turns out winning by more is pretty awesome.
You don't need the Denuncia to heal your models against BattleClade or Yeagris. You're just gonna win anyway.
Yeah.
But it is maybe technically better. Like
yeah,
it's kind of unfortunate, but like yeah, like or like Crude or something. Like teams that aren't reliably ever killing you, and then you just kind of laugh in their face and like heal.
Yep.
And you go, okay, now you still can't kill me, and you didn't even kill, and you can't even confirm this kill. Like, it's like you're already beating these teams anyway. So I don't. Maybe it's just better to go. Maybe it's just better to go more warriors and run them down faster and win by more. Like I don't know. So
yeah,
it's kind of here or there. Like if there's move dash door fight angles on open, that can be really good. Like in that BattleClade game, that's pretty much why I brought her. I brought her to be able to move dash door fight on that door.
And I want to say something here that I think is a lot of people might hear this and they'd be like, well, I'll always have 3 APL because I'll always be able to like have controllers. It's like I think the 3 APL has to do something to change the tempo of the game. And what you mean by that is like,
Yes.
are you removing a operative from the enemy team with that APL, or are you getting access to an area of the map that you otherwise wouldn't be able to play in? And if the answer is that, like if you're taking a ton of space or you're killing an operative with that third APL, cool. If you're like going on to if you're going onto an objective and you're like, hey, I have 3 APL, it's probably not
Yes.
the play. Or if it's like, well, now I can move dash shoot. It's like, okay, if you think that will absolutely kill someone for some reason, I don't know why, but sure. Okay, sure.
Yeah, like a Cremator move dash shooting like a Guardsman or something is fine.
Yeah.
Like that actually isn't that terrible. I don't hate that.
Yeah.
And those are also the teams like that, you know, they don't kill you as much. But yeah, it really is like if it's a +1 APL that on turn 2 like opens up a play that's otherwise impossible, basically. So again, that's why opening doors, like being able to open door charge fight or open door move shoot, changes what's possible on the board.
And then I also just want to say, like, you know, it's a trope, but like oftentimes players at higher skill levels don't like rolling dice. And healing is very similar to not rolling dice in the sense, like, when things don't go very well for your opponent, you can make them go even worse with the Denuncia. Like, you only got one hit through? What if you got no hits through? All right, let's go.
Yeah, that's the other thing. It's like, like when that situation will come up where you like only take 4 damage in a melee fight or something, and the Denuncia immediately walks up and goes, that was nothing. Run it back. We're back to full.
Yeah.
And it's like, that is it can just win the game instantly sometimes. So again, this is the idea. There's times where she just changes what's happening on the board so much that it's worth it. And then there are some games where you're like, oh, I could just charge fight. And that's probably better.
Yeah. Okay. Mortis Sanctus.
If things have 8 or more or 9 or more health, you bring her. Otherwise, like against hordes, you probably just want another. Like if it's like an 11+ model team, you probably don't actually need her. Like you probably just want another sister to beat people up.
Yeah.
And shoot sometimes. Like pre-parry is good. So like if you wanna if you need to shove her in front of 2 like horde melee operatives, like to pre-parry and live, like Blooded, I guess she'd be pretty good against. I'd bring her against Blooded.
Yeah, actually, she would be pretty good against Blooded. Wow.
Like she can tank the Butcher. Like if he only rolls 1 crit, or if he rolls 2 crits and a hit, and then she can parry him out and live. Like she's good. So if there's like multiple like melee guys that can kill a regular sister, but pre-parry might make the difference, then you bring her.
Yeah. Okay.
And then but in this game, no one plays these teams, so you bring her basically every game. Yes, that's it. Like, it's so rare you actually play against teams where you'd be better off without her. Like,
must be nice not having the top blooded player in the world in your meta. Sounds cool.
Yeah. Listen, I'd prefer you reject the Murderwing players. I'll trade. I'll trade you.
Well, now my blooded player is on Murderwing, so whatever.
Yeah.
Stay lovey.
Yeah.
Okay. Reliquarius. Did you bring? We didn't actually talk about her a lot in operative selection this time around. Did you bring her every time? I think the answer is yes.
I did bring her every time.
Yeah.
And like, I think you do.
Yeah.
I guess again, maybe if you're like if it's like the right map for Unga Bunga full aggroing into a horde player, you maybe just drop her because you're like, I don't care. I'm gonna be inspired when I charge, and I'm charging 8 times this turn.
Yeah.
Like I don't need to be inspired on turn 1, kind of idea. Like then maybe because like realistically, if you're going full Unga Bunga, and your leader inspires the relic, and then the relic inspires the second person, and the relic isn't gonna be going out and fighting on turn 2. You could have just inspired a warrior with your leader, and then you've got the same number of inspired models out front, right?
Mm-hmm.
So, like, just say, again, if you're playing against, like, I don't know, Kroot or something, we're also having, like, the damage reduction doesn't matter because they're, like, 3/5.
Yeah. Yeah.
Then, maybe you drop the relic and you just go crazy. But, again, if you're playing against like lower activation teams and you're going to play a slow game and you can inspire, then it's probably worth it having the extra like 2 inspires on turn 3.
Now I want
Also, the objective control is nice defensively, and then she still has a crossbow, so shoots people sometimes.
I mean, she still has a crossbow. She might live. She's kind of like a stun grenade on the point.
Yes.
And
yeah, against like elite teams, you kind of use her as bait. So like, you just like sit her on the objective. You go, I reduce your control to 2, so you can't steal this from me unless you kill me.
Yeah.
You have to charge and fight me, and then also if I roll relics, I might live, and you have to spend all your APL killing one model, and you take like 4 damage, and then I trade for 1, and I have 3 inspire, maybe 2 inspires. Like, like start of turn 2, I'm standing in front of a murder wing or an assault intercessor. I'm like, I'll just pass, inspire that lady over there. If you want to charge and kill me now, go ahead. When I die, I'm going to give that lady 3 APL. She's going to shoot her inspired crossbow shot at you, charge you, kill you.
Yeah, that combo of I want this operative to activate first. It provides me value just by activating, helps you push activation advantage when you are activating first versus a melee team turning point 2. So she has a built-in activation advantage. She helps you keep that, right? And so she's hard to kill. She's buffing stuff up, and if they're killing her, great. And if they're killing her while she's expended, amazing. Like you're ready. You're ready for it.
Yeah, you're like, okay, cool. Now you set me up for what I want next year. Yeah, exactly. She's like bait. She's literally a bait piece.
All right, warriors. Let's talk about you literally have to take one. So cool. I guess in that sense she's auto include. But when do you think about taking 2, 3, or more than 3?
So like it's just based on what you've dropped, really, right? Like if you drop like Denunciate and Censor, you're already at 3.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, because you got 1, 2, 3, 4. No, you're already at 4, right? Well, you're 3, and then depends on how many cremators you bring.
Yeah.
So like you're kind of always bringing 2 or 3.
Mm-hmm.
4 would be like an ITD map, or like a map where cremators are bad, basically. Where you go like, if you've dropped, Denuncia, Mortar Sanctus, Censor, and you're bringing like 1, 2, 3, and then like, what is that, like 5 warriors thing?
Yeah,
that seems
5
kind of
warriors.
crazy.
Yeah.
I don't know. I guess against the Horde team where you don't need any of, I guess you're bringing the Censor maybe against Hordes. So like, you're generally bringing 3, and then like there was one game where I had to bring 2 cremators and I wanted only 1, and then I would have had 4 warriors. But I can't remember which game that was. I just remember that feeling.
Yeah.
I think it was the Wrecka game. It was the Wrecka game.
Yeah,
the Wrecka game I only wanted. The Wrecka game I only wanted 1 cremator, and I wanted 4 warriors, and I only had 3 built, so I ran 3. But that's a game where I would have run 4 warriors.
Okay. Cool. All right.
That's kind of it. Yeah.
I think that's good. I think, as things change, as the meta develops, these might change. But I think this is a great way to start thinking about it. If you're getting into sisters, this is going to help you decide who, when, and how. Wanted to really quickly talk about benedictions and when you like to use which one.
Yeah. Mostly it's like I try to, if someone can be healed, you pretty much like always heal, unless you're on like 1 wound against like things that only do 6 damage, just like ridiculous, right? So you're mostly healing. You're +1 APLing when you've got some play set up for it. So like I was talking in that Murder Wing game where I had that open door shoot charge play set up for my cremator. You're playing ceaseless when you have no one to heal, basically, and no one to +1 in a useful way. And then you're doing the dashes when they change the board state. So again, like in that game against Murder Wing, where if I don't dash, the Predator kills everyone. So I dash into to block his way.
Yep.
It's very rare to get like a free charge out of it.
Yeah.
It could happen in theory. Like there's some ways you could, like if you're playing as a shooting team and your whole team's engaged and they run up to you and shoot you, and then you can charge someone else. Maybe if you're like bringing smoke grenades and stuff, like if we ever get more equipment again, you can maybe bring smoke grenades. Put 2 sisters in a smoke grenade, and if one of them is inspired and the inspired one dies, then the other one charges the guy. So like in shooting meta world, this kind of stuff is like if we are going to a Quill on Kassakin land, if all the elites get nerfed and stuff, you can start thinking about like setting up like a smoke grenade where you've got an inspired sister and then another sister behind her, both in the smoke together. They'd run up to within 2 of the inspired one, shoot her, and then you do a 3-inch charge into that guy who shot that sister. Stuff like that you could do. But in like melee land where people are just running at you and fighting, which is most of the meta right now, you don't do that very often. But you are dashing to body block is really good against these teams, especially on ITD. Like, just full blocking a door and being like, you cannot pass through here unless you kill me, is really good.
Yeah, it gives you back tempo. Yeah. That makes sense.
Yeah.
All right, I wanted to talk a little bit about ploys, equipment, firefight. So just hit on them quick, right? But let's talk about strategic ploys here. So suspect, of these, I'll tell you, I find myself suffering and sacrifice is getting played a lot. Wait, no, is it Holy Resilience? Frick, which one is
Holy Resilience? Holy Resilience is the damage reduction.
Yeah. I mean, this one, it's wild. Like, it's funny. Some people are like, if something gets used every turn, why is it even a ploy? It should be equipment. Also wild. That's how CP works, by the way.
That's a crazy thought.
I know.
That's a Wolf Scout. That's a Wolf Scout thought. Well, my piercing reduction. That's an equipment. Yeah. I don't need to spend CP on that.
Usually your game defining or your team defining things are ploys that you will play nearly every turn, and I think for this team, Holy Resilience is really taking the cake here. You play it almost every time.
I mean, again, in a world where like we're playing Kassakin Aquilons, you don't play it.
Sure.
But in the current meta of, look, it's Wrecka, Wolf Scout, Canoptech, what's the other? Murder Wing. Like, yeah, this ploy is really big at moving all of those. AOD, nice chainswords. They're useless. They suck.
Yeah.
So I'll tell you right now, I played Suspect and Eliminate 0 times.
Yeah.
I played Suffering and Sacrifice 0 times.
Yeah.
I played Wrathful Determination like every time against the shooty teams. So actually, I played it against Wreckers as well, I think, a couple of times on like turn 3, I think, and it was actually pretty good. So I'm using like Wrathful Determination, which is if you're engaged, you get a defense dice reroll, is pretty good against shooty teams. It's like against Wreckers, against BattleClade, against Yeagris. I played this like most turns.
Yep.
And generally I played like against some of the, like if I'm playing like against the Wreckers, I played nothing on turn 2 because I wasn't going to fight them on turn 2 at all. So I just banked up CP and just played Wrathful Determination, Holy Resilience on turn 3 and turn 4. And then I never played Suspect and Eliminate. I never played Suffering and Sacrifice.
Yeah, sounds about right. Sounds about right. So these two are the big ones. I'd say if you're just starting out with Sisters, if you keep doing Holy Resilience, you're not gonna hate it. And then I would say Wrathful Determination. If I was gonna give someone like a quick tip, maybe the quick tip would be something like, hey, if you lost initiative and you get shot and you're engaged anyways, just Wrathful Determination. What can it hurt? And maybe more people end up on engage. That's fine.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, it's a turn 3 ploy. Like, you don't play this on turn 2 unless you've got like 5 charges lined up into a horde player or something.
Yeah.
Which a good horde player won't give you, but it will happen. If it happens, play it for sure. But on like turn 3, when you are now gonna have 4 or 5 charges lined up, because that's kind of, they've given you nothing on turn 2, but they have to walk forward on turn 2 to score points. So turn 3, you get to charge them and fight them, and it's going to turn into a brawl.
Yeah.
Then you play Wrathful Determination.
Yeah, makes sense. All right. Next, let's talk about firefight ploys.
Yeah.
So one thing you said a lot, and I think I just want to plus one because I think it's talked. I have not seen it talked about enough, which is unshakable pursuit, not just when charging, but also to change injury and to get where you need.
Correct.
On anyone you need to. You want to just like hit on that real quick because I think this is the deep lore on unshakable pursuit. Yeah, go for it.
Yeah. So like, there's a couple of things to it. Like one thing, if you inspire your leader turn 1, which is what I've started doing a lot more, you can do this for free on turn 1, which is really good. Like just getting an extra inch of movement for free is nice. And then, like I don't think I used it very often to ignore injury. But I did use it a couple of times. Like that fallback was huge for free for the ignore injury. And then just like move 7 sometimes makes a huge difference.
Yeah.
Especially on ITD because of the -1 through the doors. But it's like don't forget that this lets you move 7 when you'd normally be moving 4.
Yeah, fair. All right, what about the other ones? Glory to the Martyrs.
So Strike on Death didn't come up super often, mostly because like I couldn't roll a hit in the Murderwing games.
You have to have
but I
a
mean, it
hit
is
to be able to do it.
yeah, you have to have a hit to strike on death. Yeah. But it isn't. I mean, the thing about Glory to the Martyrs is that it existing alone changes what your opponent is doing.
I would
and
be
so
as
just
bold
don't
as to say, like, you have to keep a CP up for this, or else your opponent
Yes.
starts being. It literally gives them 2 times as many options or something. Like, it is
Yes,
crazy how many plays this narrows down. It is a trap. It's a trap card, you know, but it's a trap card that restricts what your opponent can do. You have to always be waiting and willing to do it.
Yep.
It has to be up. It has to be up.
So something I like to do. Okay, there's 2 ways to play trap ploys. Okay, there is to trap your opponent and not tell them and let them charge and then strike them down.
Boo. Yep.
My preference is to just set up a situation where if they don't charge and fight you, it's bad for them, and then just keep reminding them, if you charge me, I'm striking on death. And then like they know I'm not gotchaing you. If you charge me, I'll kill you. If you don't charge me, I'm gonna score like 3 points. Up to you what you want to do now.
Yeah.
Because it's like the other great thing about it is if you never use it, they never proc it, they never change the status of the game.
Yep.
So last edition, I'm gonna talk last edition. Corsairs had a ploy where you could charge 3 inches when someone moved near you, and you could change your order from conceal and engage to do it. And on ITD, this meant that like if you stand behind a door, no one can ever like move and shoot you because you always charge them. And the thing about that ploy is you could like trick someone and go, aha, now you can't shoot me, I've charged you. But then for the rest of the turn, you can't do that again.
Yeah.
Same thing with strike on death here. If you like let someone charge you and you fall and you go, aha, I killed you now. And then it's like, okay, well, you got me here, but now everywhere else you can't do that again. As opposed to if you tell your opponent, if you charge and fight me here, I'm gonna kill you. They go, oh, I guess I won't charge you. And if that's good for you,
Yeah.
you're in a great spot. And if you've played around this ploy, it should be good for you. And so you should just like make them agonize over 2 bad decisions that are both good for you. And if they never trigger the ploy, you have it for the entire turn, and you always have it in your back pocket, and they have to always be playing around it.
Yeah.
So it's very, very good ploy just for its existence. Just by existing, it changes what your opponent has to do.
And like, if you haven't done a ton of games and like combat isn't like super intuitive for you, I think you could also think about Glory of the Martyrs is I fight first. Just think about it generally like that, because like you'll be able to strike on death if you kill them, even if you're not inspired. Maybe you become inspired and pass a benediction. If you are inspired, you're passing a benediction. And then they also have to agonize over the fact that you might save a Jas and everything messes up and they lose the game.
Yes.
Just think about it as a fight on I fight first. Generally, it's a fight first with more steps. Okay.
Yes.
Then all right, let's do Faith and Fury.
Okay. I would have had the sickest Faith and Fury fighting that plasma gun rolled a hit because I was struck on death and then Faith and Furied and killed that Warp Talon. Which would have been the sickest play ever. Unfortunately, I didn't get to do that. So I didn't get to use Faith and Fury very much. Faith and Fury can be good. Like, you do sometimes leave people on low HP and then you can like fight someone else and spin. But it's very rare that it comes up. But if it does come up, it can be huge. That's basically it.
I think.
But I didn't play it. I didn't play it a single time.
I think what you just said is the epitome of Faith and Fury, which is like, there's this one time in this one game, if dice had happened, then I could have. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, I don't one in 7 games, it'll come up and be kind of sick.
yeah. All right, cool. And then Fervent Hate.
Don't play against Imperium keyword. I don't know. It's really good if they don't. It's really good if they don't have the Imperium keyword, and it's very, really good if they have the Chaos keyword, and it's useless otherwise. It's just good rerolls sometimes. Like there's no way you can make this better or worse. It's not like a thing you play around. It's just like, I rolled my dice. I got 2 misses. Do you have the Imperium keyword? I guess I'll ceaseless. You do? Oh, I guess I'll CP reroll. That's it. That's just. It's kind of annoying, but it is what it is.
Yeah, I think it allows you some. I don't know. It essentially allows you to keep going when otherwise you might want to stop verse chaos or non-Imperium teams. Meaning, like, sometimes you want to plan for up to 3 fights because you're like a little concerned about how dice may go. Another way to
Yeah.
think about this is kind of like an elf killer or whatever. You're just like, all right, we'll just keep fighting, man.
Yeah.
Like eventually I'm gonna
Yeah,
like
yeah.
ceaseless reroll and it'll be amazing. Like it allows you a little bit more gas in the tank where you can be a little more, I don't know, like flagrant or out there with your dice decisions.
Yeah, when it's available. So
Yeah.
again, this is another good reason to inspire your leader. Being able to play this for free on her.
Yeah. Yep, absolutely.
So if you're playing against Chaos or Xenos, inspiring your leader so she can just fervent hate for free makes her like crazy good.
All right. Also, I just want to talk about one thing because I want to make sure, people listening know, like we are talking about inspiring the leader well before trying to get the free ploy off of the, what do you call
Denuncia?
it? Denuncia. Don't
Yes.
worry about the Denuncia free ploy. Something needs to change before I think we're even interested in this.
Suspect and eliminate just sucks.
Yeah.
Like the effect just sucks.
Even when it's free, it's not worth playing. Think about that. Like just the setup to get the free thing.
It's good if if you've got like your 2 power swords and they have to fight some space marines. Yeah, like maybe okay if you can get like 2 space marines with it, but also like that's a lot of assumptions.
Yeah.
So like it
if
can
you
like
get
it
two
can be
space
good
marines,
if
that your power swords need to fight, and they need the crits, and for some reason the space marines can't just run away. Cool. Okay, fine.
it also is really good for your leader as well. We should say with the crossbow, lethal 5 crossbow is pretty good for your leader too.
Yeah.
So like okay, I'm maybe talking too much smack about it, but it needs to hit like 2 really good targets.
Yeah. It needs to hit 2 targets that they must still commit. Because it happens in the strategy phase, it's not just that they're 2 good targets, or I would say one of the things that makes a target good is then they have to be like, oh shoot, this thing's gonna die. Oh well, I guess I have to commit it anyway.
Yeah, it's just unfortunate that the severe synergy got axed. So
yeah, okay.
If you had the severe synergy still, then yeah, it'd be a really good ploy, but you don't. So it's like half the time it doesn't even trigger.
Yeah.
On your like rest of your team, except for the 3 models that have lethal 5.
Yeah. But like, yeah. Okay. Faction equipment.
So like relics is like always every game.
Oh, okay. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. I've stopped coping. This is garbage.
It is. I tried it 3 games in a row. I was so sad.
I tried for like 6 or 7, and then I got to the tournament and I was like, yeah, I'll stop. And then everything was easier. And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
Stop. All right, I gotta win now.
I give up. The Mortis you take on ITD maps, basically.
Yeah.
You can get some great value on ITD, and I wouldn't bother on Volcus. Psych out grenades are generally pretty good.
Yeah.
And I brought them a bunch because they're just like good enough.
I think if you're starting out, you take these 2 almost. Actually, I'm gonna say if you're starting out, you just take these 3, man. Like you'll take them, and then after you play 5-10 games, you'll start to know when you drop the Mortis. And then with the psych out grenades, just don't take them if the dude doesn't care about getting stunned. Don't take the grenades.
Yeah, so Sailor Rex is the one you auto take. Then beyond that, you kind of like are often bringing at least barricades or heavy barricades, one or the other, depending on the map.
Yeah.
They just make your setup a lot easier because 32 mil bases suck, and trying to fit 9 32 mil bases on these maps safely is like almost impossible.
Wild.
If you're ever playing against like an all 40 mil base team, you can maybe terrain block them. So like Ravenous, I guess. Like Ravenous, you could terrain block a little bit depending on the map and depending on where the tunnel can go. So against like something like that, I would consider bringing like barbed wire, stuff like that. If you're into shooting hell team, you can bring smokes. Smokes are good. One fun thing you could do is you could like set up your Denuncia to like use the Denuncia ability and then throw a smoke grenade forward for someone. That could be fun. Your leader can also like inspire, move, shoot, or like if you set her up, she can like inspire, move, smoke grenade if there's no one to shoot against like high activation teams, stuff like that. So smoke grenades I think are good in the right matchups. I would not bother with crack grenades. You have no synergy. Like some people are like, yeah, bring crack grenades. They're like, nah, you have no rerolls. Like no reroll crack grenades suck. Like they're just bad. What other equipment is there?
I mean, ladders can be okay.
Oh yeah,
sometimes.
ladders if good. Yeah, ladders if they're good. I brought ladders on that one Volcus map. But yeah, ladders are good. Psych out grenades are obviously what you drop for all these terrain pieces, and you never drop seeing the
And
relics because
it's
like
wild.
an extra 10 to 15 HP, something like that.
I would say just two things I'd add. Obviously, breaching charge noob, good in a lot of
Oh, yeah,
times.
that's true.
And
Yes,
then
yes.
another thing is on a lot of teams, I'm getting used to this, is like, hey, I wouldn't bring light barricades because they were too scary for me. Versus this team, do the math. Like light barricades can be bait. They'll be like, okay, I'll get up here and I'll like spend all this stuff to shoot you with it. I'm like, all right, cool. Anyways, auto save one, roll another, it's fine. And so
Yeah,
like,
auto save the crit because you're concealed, right?
yeah. And so like surprisingly, like barricades, just mathing out the team with being able to heal from the denuncia, it can be a pretty good bait play. But I think that's faction equivalent.
Yeah.
Okay, and then I want to talk about tac ops. Obviously, every time, and I think this is correct, you either played plant banner when the map allowed it, or you played dominate into higher activation teams.
I mean, it's even simpler. It's banner if you have more activations than them.
Yeah.
And dominate if you don't.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, fair.
And occasionally envoy.
Sure.
Is your third choice. If you out-activate them, and the map is heinous for banner.
Yeah.
That's it. It's that simple.
Yeah. Never
like you're not good enough
else.
at route.
Yeah.
You're not good enough at route. Like you're not as a team. You're just not mobile enough, and you don't have enough APL early on to play route.
Yep.
Sweep and clear sucks. What's the other thing? Martyrs, you don't have enough models for.
Yeah.
And you don't want to necessarily putting them on objectives.
Yep.
And if it's a good martyrs game, it's probably a better banner game.
Yeah. Envoy.
I guess maybe you could martyrs. I don't know. I don't trust martyrs because it requires your opponent to play into it. That's basically it.
I mean, exactly. Yeah. If martyrs could be scored only 3 and 4, it would be an acceptable tac op, as is.
Yeah. If martyrs had the dominate kind of thing where you could score 3 a turn on it, and you could score it 3 and 4, But if like your opponent doesn't kill your models on the objectives on turn 2, and you're like, I guess I can only ever score 4.
Yeah.
And you have no control over that. It's really bad.
All right. Cool. I don't think that warrants any more thing. I would just say, like, play these two once you have some experience, toy around with Envoy. All right. I think we're almost, this is the last thing I wanted to talk about, which was, all right, the team. We're going to put this up, and left is going to be good. Middle's going to be meh, and right's going to be bad for us. So hordes, generally.
I think it's like freebies.
Yeah. All right. We like seeing hordes. And what do you think about hordes? Like, what are we doing versus hordes that makes it hard for them?
Once their melter gun is dead, no one can kill you anymore, and then you heal.
You
and then
truly
they really
truly are 8 Space Marines at that point. It's
Space basically, Marines. Yes. You get both. Like you get the advantage of being Space Marines in that you don't die to any of their shooting in one activation, without having the disadvantage of randomly exploding a 6th of your team.
Yeah. All right.
Like if you get really unlucky,
mid-range. Think about like 9, 10, maybe 11 operatives.
I think mid-range is like in the slightly bad category. It's like not terrible, but like I think that the hardest teams to beat with this team will be like Kassakin and Aquilons that terrain block you to hell, and then like play the tac op better than you.
Yeah, makes a lot of sense. Elf teams.
It's hard because they're all like different, but I think generally Elf is like in the like here kind of area, like slightly easy but not very easy.
Yeah.
They're mobile, they can do a lot of tricks, but if they ever have to fight you, they all just die.
Yeah.
And you sometimes just don't.
Fair. And elites.
That's like the wide, like it can be anywhere on this spectrum depending on which elite team it is.
I'll put it in the middle. It really depends. Yeah. There's a lot of elite teams
like,
that all do very different things.
Generally, you're good into elites because you can tank their stuff. The problem into elites, so like you're good at fighting elites, but the problem against elites is your tac ops suck.
Yeah.
So this here will change if the tac ops get better against elites for you. It'll go this way.
Yeah, fair.
It also depends on the map. Like if you get a map where you can banner good, you're like on this side, you're chilling. If like you get that map that I can put the banner in the corner and the elites are really going to struggle to take it, it's actually a very easy game against elites. If you get a map where the banner is like really hard, it's like on this side. It's like the worst possible thing.
Yeah.
Because you're starting down like 3 to 4 points basically on tack op, unless you like crush them completely.
Makes sense. Is there any other, what do you call it? Any other, I don't know, category of team you want to talk about, or you think that kind of covers it?
Felgor and Goremongers, I guess.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Which I think should be like those teams are both really good, but this team kind of has answers to a lot of it. So it's kind of melee. I guess melee. There's Felgor, Goremongers, and Chaos Cult. Chaos Cult you beat because like you kind of randomly counter their best model and also are good at fighting them. Sure. And then like the rest of them, I think you're just generally good into melee teams. Like I don't know what Felgor do. Like if they don't aggress you on turn 2, they suffer because you have like 5 inspired models then on turn 3 and all their weapons suck. If they aggress into you on turn 2, you pass it to the shield. You bring the sensor bearer and you're like, okay, roll your 4s against my shield on 2s.
Yeah.
And you beat them up. So I feel like they're really good into melee skew.
Cool.
Yeah.
I agree with that. I also I think I've played this matchup twice. One time I tried to be super aggressive just to see what'll happen. By the way, the answer is you lose. And so I think the answer to melee skew is just defense. I tried it once. I like to try things. I will not be trying it again. So for me, if you play a defensive melee opponent, I think you're gonna be chilling.
Yeah, you get a few inspirations up turn 1. You put your like inspired shield with the sensor out front, like because you can against melee teams. You just stand in the open. You go, okay, I'll stand here in the open. I'll put the shield next to me. I'll inspire the shield with the banner, and then you turn like end of turn 2. You just walk the 3 APL sensor forward. You walk the shield forward with the sensor. They're both inspired. That's like 5 APL worth of control. Good luck. And you bring flamers, and you get more inspirations. Like if they do anything.
Awesome.
You bring 2 cremators. Like your only aggression should be the cremator walks forward and like roasts the Felgor for 9 damage, inspires herself, and sits there smiling, laughing.
Yeah. And it's like, come on, let's go.
Let's go. Yeah.
All right. Well, that brings me to all the topics. I super appreciate the time. This has been fun. This has been rad. Thanks for walking through everything. I think I am very excited to see how Sisters develop. I think the team's doing super well. I think they're very fun to play, and they're somewhat interactive, which I enjoy. All the things.
Yeah. I think that the meta is really good for them right now. I think like if we switch to Kasich and Aquilon land, it'll get harder.
Yeah.
But I think there's still like you've still got chances to win. You just have to like be very mindful of how you're gonna win. It's gonna be a lot harder. Like right now, you can kind of just fight a lot of the teams, and if they fight you, you kind of win. You can't like it's gonna be harder. But anyway, I think the team will still be good. Like you're very tanky, you're decently reliable. Oh, the other problem with if it's Aquilon, Kasich, and Melter, you just don't have fervent hate.
Yep.
No rerolls. No rerolls. No.
Just roll good, okay? Just roll well.
Yeah, just roll good on the first roll. But yeah, I think they're good. I don't think they're gonna get. Maybe they'll get nerfed after like they may be like getting nerfed in 6 months. That's my feeling. Like I think they're gonna like for this data, they're like 50% win rate, so they're not gonna get nerfed now.
Yeah.
And then the next cycle, there'll probably be still something that's more OP than them, so they'll hide.
Yeah.
And then after that cycle, they're gonna like everything will be nerfed, and then you're gonna be like standing there as the last one standing. Is like, I'm really tanky, and no one does any damage anymore. Oh, you can't beat me now.
Yeah, I mean, like, I think they're like, in my opinion, I think they're kind of out of S right now. They're not like ridiculously broken, and they're kind of hiding in this like, well, I have like play.
They're like 6 to 10. They're like 6 to 10 somewhere in there. There's like 4 to 5 teams that are like Canoptek, Felgor, Murderwing, Wolf Scouts.
Yeah.
Felgor.
Yeah.
Is like top 5 probably in my opinion.
Somewhere in there.
And then Sisters are like 6, 7 maybe. Like they're like with like Chaos Cult, Sisters.
Yeah.
Angels of Death or something. I don't know. That team's broken. Yeah. No one believes what they are.
I agree. Honestly, you could probably maybe bump them up a little bit. But they're kind of They're like maybe like 1 rung below Angels of Death, and that seems pretty dang good, you know. And
they're sitting there somewhere. And then like Kasich and Aquilons are also in that mix of like 5 to 10.
Yeah.
Who else is in there? I don't even think I can't. There's too many teams.
There is way too many teams now.
Raveners, maybe, I guess. Raveners are good still.
Raveners can be pretty good if they're played like.
Oh yeah, Mandrakes. Yeah, they're like sitting with Mandrakes, like Mandrakes, Chaos Cult, Wreckers. Yeah, these teams are sitting like there.
Well, cool.
But like, Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes.
Awesome. Thanks for the conversation. Maybe we'll do another one of these.
Pleasure
This has been
chatting.
super helpful.
Yeah. Happy to chat always.
All right. Well, I'll see you. And then also just if any viewers have any questions for us, you can obviously find us on Command Point Discord, posting the Sisters channel. We can't stop posting there. Anywhere else?
Stop shit posting. Yep.
Yeah. Anywhere for people to find you.
I have a YouTube channel. I think you have the link. I'll give it to you. I might make a video on something. I had a thought. What was I going? I was going to talk about bait. I was going to talk about how to bait people. which is relevant to Sisters. They're a team about baiting. So I was gonna make a video on like kind of what I did in those games where I like put someone there and then walked away. Like that kind of strategy, how to set that up, how to play that, how to respond. So you might see a video on how to make bait plays next week.
Yeah, maybe. I'll post a link to your channel in the
I'll
description.
send you the link.
Yeah. And if you have the video up, I'll also post that. Cool. Thanks, Aleksa. This was rad. And good luck in your next games and next events.
Thank you.
All right. See ya.